Bro,
going on, my brother?
thank you for coming on the pod, man. David Figg.
Thank you for having me on, dude.
Of course, man. I've been following you for a while. I saw you were getting the second location of the gym. And I was like, damn, that's huge, bro.
Much bigger than our current one, or our other one.
How'd you get into all this, dude? I know that's like a fucking...
I mean, it's a pretty
loaded
I know,
question.
it is, right? Like, you ask any business owner, how'd you get into this? There's never like a straight, like, oh, I just woke up and opened a gym.
I wanted to get fucking swole.
Yeah, bro. Well, I did. That was kind of the reason I got into the gym, into like the industry in general. But I mean, it's pretty simple, bro. My wife and I were members at 24 Hour Fitness, and we fucking hated it, dude. Like, we were there. Well, when we first signed up, you know, you're kind of like ignorance is bliss. And then as you get like more advanced, I'm sure it's the same thing in the car world, where at first you're just like, oh, that's dope. And then you start like advancing and like, this is nicer than this. And you start to see the quality differences. So I think just being there long enough where like, you know, you see things break, you see mismanagement, you see like the community of members that are there, and you're just like, yeah, this isn't for me anymore, you know? And then you start going looking for other things that kind of fill that niche. And you're like, dude, there's not jack shit around here. So that's literally what it was. It was like the want of something more, and then there's just not being anything there. So we were like, you know, my wife, she wasn't like super into the gym. She was with me for like a year. I was already 3 years in or 2 years into working out. And I was like, I always knew I wanted to be a business owner, but I had a full ride to school at the time. And I was like, school fucking blows, dude. So I was like, I can't do this anymore. So I put a pause on school, and I was like, I'm gonna open a gym. My parents were like, hell no, you're not, dude. My mom was like, you're tripping. Like, you have a free education. Like, you're not gonna stop school. But through one thing or another, I was able to kind of like use a clause in my scholarship for like medical. I got to take a year off.
Gotcha.
So I kind of took advantage of that. And then after me, they got rid of that clause.
Oh,
because they realized like, oh shit, like people can take advantage of this. But I mean, I used what I had available to me. So took a year off. It took way longer than a year to get it open in the first place. And I learned a lot through that. And, you know, that helped us with the second facility. Learning those trials and tribulations. And then we got that open, and that's kind of how it started, was that need.
So what year was this when you decided to take the year off? And then
This was, I'd say I graduated high school 2016, so it would have been maybe like the middle of 2017, I think it was. I was either the end of my freshman year of college or sophomore year. I mean, it's been a while now, so somewhere in there.
2016. So where did you graduate from?
I went to Hueneme High School, and then I graduated from CSUCI, from Channel Islands.
So you went to Hueneme. Are you from Hueneme?
Yeah, I'm born and raised. Like, that's all my tattoos, like the Hueneme Lighthouse, like the beach park signs. Like,
crazy.
Yeah, so we're like born and raised in Hueneme, and then of course I like grew up in South Oxnard, so
got you.
Hueneme and Oxnard.
So what schools did you go to?
I went to Bard Elementary, and then I went to E.O. Green for junior high school, and then Hueneme High School for high school.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I went almost all the same, but I went to Parkview.
Hey, Parkview it's a dope school. That's probably where our son's going to go.
Oh, really?
If we don't homeschool him, so.
Yeah.
Because we live right there around the corner.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I grew up in that whole area. Mm-hmm. All the 5th, 6th, 7th.
Yeah.
All those houses.
Yeah, we bought a house over there. We love it right there.
Oh, okay.
We lived a little closer growing up near the City Hall in Hueneme. But my wife and I just bought our house. Been over a year and a half now, but like right around that area.
Congrats, dude.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah.
And then I went to E.O. Green, and then I graduated from Hueneme.
That's sick. I didn't know you graduated from Hueneme.
Yeah,
that's
dude.
dope.
In 03, though.
Okay. Dude, just a couple years older. That's all it is.
Yeah, I don't feel that old though, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I would never guess it, bro.
Yeah, I don't feel it. I see people that are like that I graduated with. I'm like, damn, bro.
We see it now, even at our age, dude. Like at 25, 26, and I'm like, man, those are some bad decisions those last 5 years, you know. But
all that shit catches up. You
quick.
know, all the partying and drugs and eating bad. All that shit catches up.
Yeah, we see it. I mean, firsthand at the gym, we see it all the time with people. Someone will disappear for like just a year, and they come back a completely different person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and you feel bad. You're like, fuck, I wish I could have helped this person in some way, but it is what it is.
Yeah, for sure. Damn. Well, so what was it like growing up on that side of Oxnard?
Well, I'm born and raised in Hueneme, so like we grew up in Hueneme, but Huanime, I like to make a joke, it's kind of like a tumor of South Oxnard. Like, I would say that most people don't even know Huanime exists. Like, if you see all the memes online about, like, Thousand Oaks and Oxnard and Ventura, you know, they just leave Huanime out all the time. So, which is cool for me, because I'm like, do not come here, bro, you know, which is cool. But, you know, growing up, like, in South Oxnard with, like, Huanime High School, EO Green, so really, really familiar with both cities. It was cool, dude. I mean, Huanime's super chill, so we never had any issues, and grew up near Miranda Park and then closer to City Hall later down the road. But it was always dope. Huanime's chill, dude, so it was cool.
What kind of stuff were you into as a kid?
You know what, dude? Like, we were a little bit before video games growing up, so it was like a lot of sports. And then I do have to give a lot of credit to my dad, who him and I don't have like a super close relationship anymore, but growing up he like made us work a lot, which was awesome. My brother's high functioning autistic, so growing up, now you wouldn't even notice it. He's a killer now. He's awesome. But as a kid, he definitely was not in the same. Like, if my dad was like, hey, mow the lawn, my brother's like, no, I'm not doing that. So I kind of took the brunt of work growing up, and he got to have a little bit more freedom, you know, as a kid, which is cool. He's only 2 years older than me, but I love him to death. So as a kid, I know it sounds kind of fucked up, but like a lot of yard work. Like, we used to dig holes. My dad would, like, every summer would print out an Excel spreadsheet, like, no joke. And it would be like, this is what you're getting done this summer. And it wasn't like he was an asshole. He would like attach it where it's like, and these are real jobs. Like, if you want to scrub the outside patio and reseal it, like, I was like 8 years old, 10 years old. He's like, I'll give you $20. If you clean all the windows in the house, I'll give you $15. And he had like the breakdown of the most labor intensive job got the most reward. So we would knock those off throughout the summer, and that's how we earned our money for like penny boards or like a scooter or whatever. So it's kind of what I did during the summers. And then playing a lot of sports. We played a lot of sports. Baseball, soccer.
Oh, wow. That's a trip. Did you ever ask him where he came up with that idea from?
You know, my dad is very Excel driven. Like, he will overanalyze something, and then once he's done, he'll do a second round of analytics. Like, it's the way his brain works. I think that he is high functioning autistic, like my brother is as well. But when he was born, he's already 73. So they didn't have diagnosis back then like that. So I think he was just normal for him, you know. And then his dad, my grandpa, he was the last teacher, last principal in California to allow like I didn't say beatings in school, but like where the teacher had a paddle and could hit the kid if they're disciplinary action. They like had to like fucking go in and take his paddle from him. You know, he's like the last principal in California. So my dad wasn't like that. He wasn't like a hands-on type of guy, but he was very like stern. Like, you do this shit. If not, like, you're not getting anything. That's how it was. So very stern with us, which is, I think, the best thing kids need now. Yeah. You know, kids lack that discipline.
There's definitely a fine line for sure.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. I could imagine that, going to school and then like them beating you or hitting you.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, dude. Nowadays, I feel like fucking kids need way more than that now, dude. I mean, you walk through the high schools, we've done talks at places. I'm like, I mean, these kids just don't give a fuck, dude. Like, they're just calling parents in the middle of class, calling people, FaceTiming people, doing TikToks, and like, bro, it's wild.
No way.
Oh yeah, dude, it's crazy. And we know that because we have high school teachers and we have like junior high school teachers that are members. Yeah. So they come in, and especially the year after COVID, and it was like, oh, how's it back? You know, good being back. And they're like, this is a nightmare. Like, dude, they had like that 1 year where kids were doing like the hit a lick trend, where they were like, who could steal the most expensive thing at school? They were taking teachers' purses. Like, dude, kids are shitheads, bro. Like, straight up, man. Like, I see some of those kids, I'm like, you did not get slapped as a kid.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So those things that you learned while you were younger, is that kind of what helped you start a business? Like that foundation?
Yeah, I would say that gave me the disciplinary skills. My dad, he worked for the city for 22 years, and then he also just went and did his own self-contracting. He's self-employed. He didn't have like a team or anything, just himself. And so, but he was always a hard worker. He wasn't a business owner, but he was just he was the type of guy, he'd wake up at 4:00 in the morning. And if I happened to wake up early, he'd already be on his computer working. And then the weekends up at 7 doing yard work. Like, he was just like, I mean, even now he's 73, he lives in Sacramento, it's 115. I'm like, how's it going? Like, oh, I'm just doing landscaping today. I'm like, dude, like, go the fuck inside. Yeah. So that's just kind of how he's built. But it was my mom's side, my grandfather, who was a business owner. So he used to own like liquor stores in the valley, and then when they moved out here in the 70s, he owned like a couple electronic stores on South Oxnard Boulevard. So like that big gray building, Oxnard Drug, right across the street, he owned like a big electronic store there, and like so. That's kind of where I got the entrepreneur spirit from. Like as a youngin, was he passed away when I was 8, but like all the stories my mom tells of him, and then getting to know him up until that time. So he was one who inspired me of like, dude, you can go out and like make a life, not having to work for somebody else.
So what was your earliest experience from like your earliest hustle that you can remember?
You know what? This is where I can say my parents did help a lot. Is even though they're divorced now, when we were kids, they were very like supportive. We used to make bead art, so like you would like position these beads on like this like thing that had pegs on it, basically a pegboard, and then you would iron it, and then it would have a design. And we used to sell those around our neighborhood. It's crazy even thinking about that, because I hear all these entrepreneurs talk about, I used to sell this when I was a kid. I was like, fuck, did I ever do that? But like I never really thought about it, but like it was just instinct. So we used to do that. We used to pick like oranges off our orange tree and sell them in our neighborhood. My mom still does that with her lemons.
Oh shit.
But that was my first thing I think that I remember doing. I was like maybe 6 or 7 or 8 years old. And then where I really learned was in junior high, because it's really popular in the rave scene, the candy, the big bracelets. So I used to make those and sell them $80 a pop, $60 a pop. And like there was like one kid who bought like $500 worth of them off me. And I made my girlfriend, like who's now my wife, like I made her one. She still has it. Like I used to sell, I don't know, maybe I made like $1,000 in junior high, and do $1,000 then is like $1 million.
Yeah.
So I do remember selling those. I used to sell those to people in junior high school for sure.
Damn, that's crazy. Did you ever used to make those crosses with the string?
No, like with the ropes and stuff. I had a buddy who used to make them out of like the, not Kevlar, but like the bracelets and shit.
Oh, no. Yeah. I'm talking about the ones, damn, I don't even know what they're, so the string came on a roll. And then you cross them like this, and then you fold them, and then if you keep going up.
Oh, and it's like a keychain, like almost like a keychain. Those, I didn't get into those.
My sister used to sell those. She used to sell those iron on things that you were talking about too. I totally forgot about. Yeah,
those were popular, bro, but they don't have them anymore.
Used to make like Simpsons characters and shit.
Yes, bro, like cartoons. Like, I remember like making like SpongeBob ones and like, all kinds of stuff.
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Yeah, so I think I'm glad you brought that up and early like reflected on that. But yeah, I definitely remember doing a lot of things like that.
Yeah, it's weird. When do you think that you really realize the value of money?
You know what? The earliest memory I have of that is my mom. I remember her, and she always tells me the story of like, I think I was 12 turning 13, either 12 turning 13 or turning 10, and I gotten like, because it was a big, like big years, 10 and 13. And I remember getting like a good sum of money from like all of my family. I think they had like $500 total, and for a kid that's like huge. Most kids would go buy an Xbox or whatever. And I remember telling my mom, like, I want to open up a bank account. Like, that's what I did. And so she took me to Union Bank at the time, and we opened up a savings account. And so it's crazy because later down the road, that's what I emptied my account to buy gym equipment for the gym. But that started then. And I just remember saving and saving and saving. Like, I've always had this instinctual thing to save money. Like, I don't know if I got it from my dad or my mom, but just kind of like a natural thing. Yeah. So,
did you guys have money when you were growing up?
You know what? From the outside, I thought we did, honestly. Like until I was 7, we lived in a small 1-story house. And then when I was 8, we bought my kindergarten teacher's house, which is the largest lot in Hueneme. Like, it's a big house. There's no doubt about it. And at the time, I thought, like, this is so fucking cool. Like, there was a half-court basketball court. There was, like, a little 1-bedroom apartment in the back of the house. It was really cool. Yeah, it was really dope. And the story of the house is really cool. But now my mom tells me, like, they way overextended themselves for that house. My dad was just so focused on, I want a place where my kids can come and the whole neighborhood could come. Like, I don't want my kids going anywhere else. Like, we want to raise our kids here. So, like, I remember my mom telling me, like, my brother, being, like, kind of high functioning when he was a kid, he wouldn't ask for permission. He would do things and then be like, too bad. He was a shithead. Like, and he knows that. So he would, like, buy iTunes. At the time, you had to buy an iTunes song for $1, if you remember that. Yeah. And so he would, like, buy iTunes songs, but it would bounce because my mom didn't have any money on her cards. Like, or, like, her credit card would be fully maxed. And as a kid, I never knew that. But my mom told me that. Something she only told me a couple years ago. She's like, we were, like, strapped. Like, we did not have money. and they overextended themselves with the house. And a couple of times we're like, fuck, dude, like, what are we doing? Why did we do this? But it ended up working out for the better, you know, like we live right next to, like literally right next door is Section 8. So I got to meet all the different diversities of Black, Mexican. Like it was cool because we had everyone at our house. So we were like a very inclusive household, which was really cool. So I think that taught me a lot about like money's not everything. And that was really cool. So from the outside as a kid, I thought we were like, you know, well off, you know, we never really had to struggle, I thought. My parents just hid that very well when we were, like, you know, younger, growing up into like junior high school. So
how did you do in school?
It was always, my dad was very like, again, I preface it, my dad and my mom were very loving people, but my dad would come home if it was, you know, all A's and an A minus. Well, why isn't that one an A? Why is that one not an A plus? Like, and he would do it jokingly. It wasn't like, hey, I'm gonna beat your ass. It was just like, hey, what could you have done better? Why didn't you get an A? So grades were never a discussion in our household. It was like, you do good or you don't get shit. Like that's how it was. So like, you don't get to play an Xbox. You don't get to go out. You don't get to have friends over. Like it's very like kids nowadays, dude. They don't really experience that. It's like, oh, my kid needs a mental health day. You know, they're struggling right now, dude. It was like you come home like I was sick one time in high school. For one day I had strep throat. It was like I couldn't convince my parents to let me stay home, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like dude, and now growing up I thought that was normal, and it was. Like I talked to all my buddies like, yeah, dude, our parents didn't let us stay home.
Yeah.
Like now kids are like, parents will pull their kids out middle of the way, like through the day. Like, oh yeah, my kid texted me, he's struggling today, I'm gonna take him home.
Yeah.
Like when the fuck did that happen, dude? I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like the pendulum swung way to the other end.
Way too far, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because people like my generation who have kids that are in high school now, they had it tough. So then maybe they just don't want to make it. The way that I see it is that like life is going to be tough.
Yeah.
No matter what. You know, and if I'm in the position to be able to make life better,
yeah,
for my son or for my daughter, I definitely will. But still instilling those important values, the ones that I saw that actually helped me progress, you know.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that my parents did that were right and helped out, and there's a lot of things that they did that, you know, I don't agree with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do see, like, man, kids are fucked up nowadays, dude. And who knows how things are going to be for the future.
Yeah. Know? That's something that we worry about with our son. And another one on the way is, like, what are we going to do, you know? That's something that my wife and I have discussed. Because, you know, she grew up the opposite. They moved. I mean, we were together since junior high. And just in the first 4 years of us being together, she moved probably 60 to 80 times. Like every month and a half they move.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like, and it's like no joke. To the point where like junior year came around, my mom's like, I'm not doing this anymore. She's living with us. So she actually moved in with us like end of junior year in high school.
Oh, wow.
So we knew from a very early age, her and I, like freshman, sophomore, like this is it. We're going to be together for the rest of our lives. Like we clicked and we just knew that. So it was good. Like she lived in everywhere, Cuesta, Colonia, everywhere in Oxnard, Guanimi, lived in Ventura. Like, so she was the one who taught me about riding the public bus system. Like, so she had a different lifestyle, which is awesome because I got to have my lifestyle she got to live through. Then I had her lifestyle that I got to kind of see through her eyes, which is cool. So it taught us a lot.
Damn, how'd you know at such a young age that was who you wanted to be with?
I don't know, dude. Well, we met. She punched me in the jaw. That's how I met her.
Oh, shit.
We were doing, like, play acting at a play in 7th grade, and she fucking decked me in the jaw, dude. And she swears, like, oh, it was just my bracelet. I'm like, I don't know, dude, because the guy who was helping us, the guidance person on the play, it was like a field trip we did. He was like, damn, you didn't have to punch him. And so, like, I was like, God damn, she punched me. But we just hit it off. We vibed. And then, you know, 8th grade came around, and then, you know, we were going out, if you want to call it, you know.
Yeah.
It can't be that serious in 8th grade. But her and I were like, no, like we fuck with each other, like that. It is what it is. And through high school, it was through thick and thin, no matter what.
Wow, dude, that's super cool, man. Yeah. I see your cup holder, dude. You're a fan of Andy.
Yes, I would say in first form, but this shout out to Star because Ivan gave me this like
Oh,
2 weeks
hell
ago.
Shout out to Star, dude. I fuck with him.
He is my dog, bro.
Yeah.
We love that man.
Great
he
dude,
is fucking
man.
awesome.
Great person.
Yeah. So he gave me this, and I put Andy's sticker on this because I had one of his sticker packs. But I would consider, and this sounds kind of weird, but like he's like distant, like second father figure in a way. You know, I'm not one of those people who's fucking weirdly obsessed, but he taught me every single thing about business, and I've just literally followed everything to a T. And it's like, I mean, our business has grown so much because of all the things that he taught me through the MFCEO podcast, and now he does Real as Fuck, you know. And then we went out, my wife and I on our honeymoon got invited to go to First Form to go do a tour there, and I got to sit down with DJ, his second guy. Like I just missed Andy by a second. He went to go do a meeting. But we got to sit down and talk in the locker room, him and DJ and I, and because we were going through all the COVID lawsuits. And, you know, through COVID, we kept the business open. And there was only one other dude, Andy's really good friend, Ian Smith, and he was in New Jersey, and he was making news headlines every day. And we were kind of like on the same boat, you know, here on the West Coast. And there was a couple other gyms too, locally. But we were getting hit with lawsuits and stuff. So one of the guys, you know, we reached out. We're like, hey, we're going to be in St. Louis for one day on our honeymoon. Like, can we cruise through? And they were like, no, like athletes only. Like, and I totally understand. That's their workplace. It's not just a fucking playground for them. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh, cool. No worries, dude. And then the guy actually messaged me back the next day. He was like, actually, you know what, dude? I saw your Instagram. Like, you need to fucking come through. So we got to like, dude, I worked out like right next to Andy. Like, it was wild, like seeing it in the flesh, because I had been following him since I was 15 years old. Like, it was a Black Friday sale that another entrepreneur was running for like a group, and I was 15. I told my mom, she's like, what do you want for Christmas or for Hanukkah? And I was like, 'cause my dad's Christian, my mom was Jewish. So I was like, dude, I just want this entrepreneurship group. It's $99 for a lifetime. And I got into it. It's $99. And the first video I watched was this guy, Andy Frisella. It's called Secret Entourage was the group. And I was like, I don't know who this dude is, but like, immediately, it's like my wife. I was like, I fucking vibe with this guy. So from then on, I listened to every single episode, 300 and whatever of the MFCO project. And he was like my inspiration. He was the reason I opened a business, because I was driving to school and we were on our way to political science. That was my first class of the day. And I fucking hated that class, dude, because all it was a bunch of people. Am I allowed to cuss? I've been cussing this whole time.
No.
Okay.
Now you can say whatever the fuck you want to say, bro.
So I just remember going to class, and it was the end of one of his episodes, and he was like, if you fucking want something in life, don't be a pussy. You have to go for it now before it's too late. And I was like, I need to fucking do this, because I was going to political science, and I remember this one girl in this class, and it was the week before, and she was like, you know, it's so hard. I have 4 classes. I get C's and I have to work this part-time job. I can't pay for anything. Meanwhile, I had 6 classes and I was working a full 40-hour load as a manager in retail. And with my scholarship, I had to keep a 4.0 average. Like, you had to get A's, because only one person in each class of 5,000 people got this. So you travel with the president when she goes anywhere. You do like fundraising meetings with all the donors who donate hundreds of millions of dollars. So like, you had to be like a very high performing individual. So like, I remember being like, dude, I work 40 fucking hours and like I have straight A's. I work out every day. I wake up at 4 a.m., go work out. Like, I just can't be around these fucking pansies anymore, dude. And I remember Andy driving into school. It was the end of the podcast of that day. And I'm like, I'm opening a business. And then at that point I was like, all right, well, what do I love in my life? What can I do every day? I'm like, well, there's a need for a gym. I like working out. Fuck it, we're just gonna open a gym. So that's kind of how I did it. And so through Andy, like now I'm in his Arete group, I've been in there for 3 years, which is an entrepreneurship group, which has changed my life as well. Just all the foundations on how to scale a business, how to grow a business, how to breed a community of a team of people that care about each other. Like, it's changed my life. Like, there's just no doubt about that. So I give everything to him for helping me.
Damn, bro. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I love Andy, dude.
Yeah, he's a bad motherfucker, dude.
Yeah, for sure. Tell me about the Arete. I've heard about the group, but like, what does it actually entail?
Yeah, it's dope. I was able to get Star in with a referral. So, because they don't open application, you get to send. When I first joined, it was like a 15 question application 3 years ago. Now it's like 80. Like, they have to vet people, because there's so many people who think they're like business owners and they're really not. They're like Forex traders that, like, you know, whatever. But it's really cool. There's 2 really, really important parts of it. You get the weekly calls. There's 3 calls a month. one with Andy, one with Ed, and then a Q&A with both of them. And they pick one topic for each month. So like, a topic might be how to build a team, or like, managing your ego as you scale. That might be the topic for the month, which is awesome. And then you do 3 of those Zooms. And then the second part, which is, I think, the gold mine, is the Facebook group. And in the Facebook group, I mean, you got guys who are first-year business owners who are just on the come up. They're grinding, And then you got guys that like, there's like a couple dudes who are like, oh, I'm in my, 3rd year in business. I just did 150 million this year, or guys who have been there 20 years who are like, hey, I'm doing 50, 60, 100, multiple 8-figure, 9-figure guys in there, who have the experience. I mean, these dudes who have 300, 400, 500 employee companies. And the cool thing is that if you're an Arete, you're a brother, so like, or a sister. It does not matter. I can reach out to someone who has 15 gyms, 20 gyms, and I'm like, hey, I'm struggling with this analytic or with this thing. And immediately people will get on Facebook. Here's my guy. Go talk to this guy. I send him a DM for you. He's going to reach out to you. Like, and they will. They'll call you to get on the phone with you. Like, I've done it with other guys who are like, hey, I want to open a gym. So I'll get on a 3-hour Zoom call with them, tell you exactly how I did it. Let me help you through it. Like, if you're an Arete, bro, like, you're already vetted. So I trust you that you're one of us, that you're going to like really put the work and effort in. I'm not wasting time on you. So, and vice versa. That's how they are with me. It's an amazing group. It really is.
Wow, dude, that sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's not a mastermind, bro. You don't just get on there and have one dude who's like, this week I'm doing this sales pitch. It's like Andy and Ed have built multiple multi-billion-dollar companies. So they're like, you walk into First Form, bro, and I mean, like, I think we have the best cleanliness and community in all the, in our surrounding areas for a gym, and I would even say more than just the surrounding areas. You walk into First Form, bro, and every single fucking thing is spotless. I mean, the weights in their gym have to face a certain way, so the words are 90-degree angles. I mean, like, they literally are the pinnacle of what it means to hold the standard. So these are guys who really understand how to build powerhouse companies. So it's not just like some mastermind, like, this is my sales pitch. This is how I convince someone to sign up for my program. These dudes are like, hey, you want to build a company? Let me show you how to build a sales force. Let me show you how I integrate people coming into my workforce, like actual legitimate scaling companies, which is like super, super legit.
And is it a monthly, yearly fee, or how does that work?
You have either a monthly or a yearly. So like, you can sign up for the monthly or you can do the yearly fee. I don't know if, I think you're allowed to say it. Like, it's like, I pay $5,000, so that's what I do. I do the yearly. Okay. But they have a monthly fee that's a little bit more expensive since it's a month to month. I recommend doing the yearly because you do get a little bit more access on you. Their weekly videos expire after 48 hours. If you pay the yearly fee, you get it for 7 days. So like, if I'm busy, like legit, there's a call right now, a live call, but I'll go back tomorrow and listen to it, or I'll go back tonight and listen to it. But I could go up to 7 days and rewatch the call.
So how many people are in this Zoom call?
I don't know. It doesn't let you see who's in the Zoom call. It's just Ed and him, and then they see all the back stuff. They see who's on the calls. Okay. So I don't know how many, but in the group, on the Facebook group, it's like it ranges anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 people. So it's not a huge group. And
you're able to conversate with them, ask questions. How does that work?
So in the one-on-one, so like, I shouldn't say one-on-one. It's not like I'm meeting with Andy. For sure. But when you see one-on-one, it's just Andy in the call. He has a lesson, all his lessons. So let's just say it's scaling a team. He'll have his breakdown of what he would do with scaling a team for half the meeting, all the lessons he wants to go over. This is how I did it. This is what we're doing. This is what we're looking at in the future. And then he'll have a Q&A just with him. Same thing with Ed. He'll have an identical call. He has a lesson plan and then a Q&A with him. And then the Q&A call is for you and I to jump on there, and they go through our questions of like, hey, Andy, or whoever, like, I'm struggling with this. This came up in my business. I made this mistake. How should I correct it? And then him and Ed will go back and forth on how they would solve that issue. So.
Wow, dude, that's totally interesting, bro. What was it like meeting DJ?
It was dope, dude. It was really cool. We were working out with a team at the time. It was like 2 guys. One of them was like head of their warehouse. And then another guy, I don't believe he's working there anymore. Travis, he's the one who got us in. Really, really nice gentleman. And we were working out, and I saw like right next to Andy and Ed, and I was like, you know when you can kind of feel like I probably shouldn't introduce myself. He's in the middle of his work as a gym owner. I know not to interrupt people in the middle of a workout because people come interrupt me all the time. Even if there's our team, our staff's at the front desk, they'll still come grab me for things. So I'm like, I'm not going to interrupt him. And thank God I didn't, because Travis was like, yeah, bro, he fucking hates when people come up to him. Like, let him come up to you, which is understandable. The guy runs a massive company. He has a strict time that he needs to follow. But we finished our workout, and I happened to go to the locker room, and DJ was sitting there, and then my bag was right there next to him. And we started chopping it up. He's like, oh, bro, what brings you in? I see you're like one of the VIP guests today. And so we started chopping it up. He's like, oh, shit, you're like going through the COVID lawsuits just like Ian. And I'm like, yeah, bro, like we're like the West Coast version, you know? And so they were covering that story a lot on Real AF. So he was like, oh, bro, like what's your Instagram? Let me follow you. So DJ followed me. And then I brought custom hats of our logo. It was a snake logo, and it was in custom First Form colors. So I was like, here's a hat, bro. If you see Andy, give him a hat. And then I gave a couple of the other guys hats. So we just started chopping it up. And then after that, we got a tour of the facility, went through some other stuff. But it was a really, really cool moment. I'm like, dude, like this dude's in the flesh, you know, getting to talk to him. As much as I know we're grown men, but when you see and you listen to someone for 6, 7, 8 years, you know, and shaped your decision making in business, like it's really cool to be able to know that this person's like a real legitimate guy.
Yeah, for sure. There's very few people that I would like geek out over, and he's definitely one of them.
Yeah,
like him, Rogan's
a badass too,
and like Goggins, and Lil Wayne.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's dope, dude. By the way, I wish Lil Wayne was going to be at the halftime show for New Orleans, but
I know
that's a big thing.
dude.
I hope he brings him out, bro. But
I don't think that's gonna happen, dude. Yeah, that's big. That's a big drama. Do you follow like hip hop a lot?
I don't follow it like as deep as some people do, but I definitely keep up with headlines and what's going on back and forth. So
yeah, that's another one of my hobbies is like hip hop and hip hop culture.
Yeah.
Another podcast that I listen to all the time is the Joe Budden podcast.
Oh, I mean, I'm familiar with. I don't listen to it, but I know who Joe Budden is. So I've seen his clips.
That's my number one podcast. Like I don't cool. I'm not on any Patreons, but that one.
But that's the one.
Yeah, just because of all the co-hosts that he has on there, the difference of opinions that they have, and just the things that they cover. It's kind of like in my wheelhouse.
I do like the fact that he has opposing viewpoints, and he has everyone on that podcast, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, and they were talking about actually talking about that today. I still don't know how to feel about it. I'm definitely a team Drake kind of guy.
Yeah, I think if you've read the book 50th Law with Robert Greene, 50 Cent, I think more of it's semantics than what people think it is. I think, just kind of like with the world that we're in, everyone thinks that like what you see is what it is. And I think there's probably deeper things at play, bro.
Yeah,
I think they both know they're conjuring up sales of future albums or shows or booking halftime shows at Super Bowls, So I think it's deeper than what people think it is.
Yeah, so, especially for Jay-Z being part of the NFL. And once you get to that certain level, there's not that many people that are your peers.
Yep.
And all those guys are I'm sure their egos are insane.
Oh, huge.
So I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. And if Jay-Z's always wants to swing his dick around, so I'm sure if he has the opportunity, and he can and hold something against them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Did you follow the whole Kendrick versus Drake saga?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we put a couple of the songs both on our playlist at the gym. So, it always conjured up, conversation between members, which was really cool.
Yeah.
And customers, as soon as they hear the song, they're like, oh, what do you think is happening? That's just cool. So, and we have some huge fans of Kendrick, and then we have massive fans of Drake who are members. And so they had their takes on it. So I just get to like listen to what they're saying and stuff like that. So
it was such an amazing time in hip hop, bro. It was like so rare. The only thing that even compares to it would be Jay-Z and Nas, and that doesn't even compare. This is definitely the number one beef of all time.
Yeah,
for sure. Because even back then, I remember when that came out, I was downloading music on LimeWire.
I was right at the cusp of Lime. I used it for a year before it got shut down.
Dude. So I was downloading music all the time, and the beef was just spread out so far.
Yeah,
and this beef was like hours.
Yeah, what
which was
you
crazy.
have to give them credit for that, dude. For them to be like, and that's why I question, like, was it orchestrated? Like, did they kind of, because it was so quick? But let's just say for, this sake, it wasn't. Like, you have to give props, like, how quickly they're, and dude, like the 7-minute diss, like, that Kendrick put out and then Drake put out something. I mean, it was like, and these dudes were like doing fucking research on each other. Like, they were legit, bro.
Yeah. This shirt that I have is a YouTube channel called What's the Dirt.
Okay.
So this guy, he'll cover certain tracks and he'll cover the track and actually break down each bar.
That's sick.
And each bar will have like 5 different meanings of why they went with that bar.
Yeah.
And he's still working on it right now because he came out with one for Euphoria. If you're interested in it, I would recommend listening to that because it's probably like an hour-long breakdown of just the song Euphoria. And it's crazy just to see like everything that just went into one song. And these guys are like definitely geniuses.
Yeah.
I love to talk music. But it's hard though because the general fan of music they're not educated enough to be able to have like a super strong opinion. They'll be like, oh yeah, I like that one because Drake was on Degrassi. I'm like, it's deeper than that. But
you're like, all right, bro. You're like, you know what? I agree, bro.
Yeah, that's it, dude. Got it, bro.
Yeah.
But it's probably like me trying to talk about sports or something. I don't know shit about.
Everyone has their niche, man, and I think it just not enough people like are interested in things in general.
That's a great point, dude. Yeah, a lot of people just aren't passionate about anything really. Yeah, they like a bunch of random shit.
Yeah, I think that's what made me the person I am, and how I'm able to. I think probably one of my top skills is just being able to hold conversations with people. And that's just because I ask questions, like, and I'm genuinely interested, and I sometimes I bug people, like our contractors when we're working on the new gym, like, hey bro, like, why do you use that concrete thing for? Like, what do you do this for? Why do you spray the texture this way? But I love to fucking learn, and not enough people like ask genuine questions. They just think like, oh, that's not something that I'm naturally interested in. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But like, I think if people did that, like, their lives would be a lot cooler and a lot funner. They just ask questions.
For sure. It's good just to have random knowledge.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Like you said, just if somebody's fixing something at your house or what have you, I'm always watching and say, oh, why do you do that? Because if I can understand how something works, then I can replicate it. I can manipulate it to work how I want it to work.
Amen.
Or what have you.
Yeah. I was just talking to a member. He's a really close friend of mine, Mike, this morning at the gym. And we were talking about someone who also owns a business, and they're like, very like, I'm not going to listen to anybody else. They're not like in my line of work. And we're like, dude, if you cannot look at other areas of life and apply those things, mold them to what you need to do to grow, I mean, you're going to be pretty limited within your own scope, Yeah. So you learn from everybody.
For sure. Like even in your field, I'm sure there's something that you're going to talk about where I can apply that to my field or to my business, because it doesn't all have to be about, well, I'm not into gym stuff, so why do I need to know about it? No, what makes high functioning people, there's always so many similar things that each person has. And it's just like that hunger for knowledge. I mean, that's kind of why you probably run a successful business as well as we do. It's like the growth. Like, you just want to keep learning. And I feel like that naturally, even if you're not looking for progression, I feel like just developing a hunger mindset of just wanting to learn, that's just going to naturally push you forward no matter what. Yeah.
Because you just opened your mind to new possibilities.
For sure. Just like you were showing me with that bolt. Yeah. Right there. Dude, I would love to stop by your gym and take a look at everything.
Yeah.
Because what if there was a way that we could get the hardware nice looking?
Dude, stuff, yes. Yeah. That would be sick.
Do you have like a color theme?
Oh yeah. If you go to our facility, it's 100% red and black.
Bro, like imagine if the machines had red hardware
or black hardware, like on the red machine. That would
be
fucking sick.
I'm sure we could do it because the one that you showed me, I do have that. I have that size. It's not that same exact bolt, but as long as it works, and now it could look nice.
When like I was telling you, like that hardware you guys make, like that's a very hard to find bolt, because the size, you know, whatever, the Allen hex head on it. Like as soon as I was downstairs looking at that, I was like, I looked at the drawers. I'm like, this dude has exactly what I need. So sure. That's I would love to be able to work something out. That would be sick.
Yeah, dude, I would definitely want to make that happen.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we could even do something with like custom lasered name on the bolts. You know, just the small details, because those are the things that people really appreciate. You know, especially if they go check out your gym and they say, "Oh, well, I go to 24, but I'm looking for something different," and they go and then they see those small details. Like that sticks out a lot.
Well, that's where we excel in is like that, is the details for everything of what we provide for customers. And I would say in your guys' field, just that little bit of understanding of what you showed me is just watching, you know, David do that stuff, and then looking at the inside of the Civic, and like, oh, these guys are like down, literally, no pun intended, down to the nuts and bolts of everything, you know?
For sure. That's actually how the company started, is because I got a car and I was building it, and I was missing a lot of the fasteners, and I didn't want to put like just the regular stock hex head stuff. So I found some stuff, and then people started asking me where I got it from, and then I told them that I was selling it, and then it just grew from there.
And if you don't mind me asking, how did you get manufacturing that?
Well, at first I started like asking just machine shops locally, and then placing smaller orders, and then from there figuring out what worked, what didn't, and then just started to scale. The more you're in the industry, the more that you're gonna find out. You know, I'm sure
open up.
when you started, you're like, okay, well, I need 10 sets of weights, and then now I need 100 sets or whatever. You know, there's different channels to go through. But the manufacturers that we have now, like, we're able to create whatever. All the stuff that we have, it's our own unique design. So that's why I say, like, you know, we could do something with a logo or whatever. It's not even anything. It just takes time to get it done. But it's the only limitation really is the creativity. You know,
so the process of thinking about what you want,
for sure.
Exactly.
And that's where a lot of people like have issues with, and I think that's where we excel at, is because I'm always ready to create something cool. But then it's like, then now you have to sell it, now you have to market it, now you got to show people why you have the value in that, you know.
100%.
But yeah, dude, I think that would be cool. You know, I see our stuff all the time. I'm like, man, this would be so much better than just in cars. The sign that you seen when you came inside, the construction sign, bro, I found that by the dumpster, and I had my buddy do graffiti on it, and then today I just changed out the bolts in it. I'm like, dude, this looks so much better, dude.
That's dope. Yeah, those details matters, especially in, you know, if you're a business that really you take pride in.
For sure.
You know, that would be huge.
It's just about seeing the opportunity in things, and seeing what things can be before they're anything, you know? So when you had this idea for the gym, like, did you already have it visualized in your head, or did you know that this is just what you wanted to do? I want to start a gym, but I don't know how big. I don't know what. Did you already know what the end goal was going to look like before you started?
So in your head, like in my head, I knew kind of what, like, I knew the colors, the machines I wanted, like what it was going to look like in terms of, you know, like when you walk in, the vibe you would get. But I didn't know jack shit about square footage or about, like, you know, organizing. I mean, we reorganized that first building, like the actual equipment. We probably reorganized at least 10 to 15 times, which is a monster to do with like 400, 500, 600, 700 pound things. But we were able to reorganize, move things around, manipulate stuff. So, you know, it wasn't like I knew identically of what it was, but I knew in my mind, like, when people, and it's so funny because I knew people doubted me, and I have to give them a pat on the back for not, like, telling me that. I appreciate it. But I did have friends that were like, you know, as we started getting ready to move to the second building, they would tell me like, hey bro, I'll be real with you, dude. When you told me you were gonna open the first gym, like I thought it was just gonna be some bullshit little turf, like, you know, kind of, you know, one-on-one training, group training, you know. And I said, well, I don't blame you. I'd never done anything before. Why would I expect you to see what's in my brain? So it was my job to go out and like lay the vision out and actually create it. But I wouldn't say that I had an identical idea of what I wanted. What actually ended up happening was probably somewhat different, but it provided the same vibe, same inspiration that I had in my brain of what the end goal was. So
when you got the idea that you wanted to start the gym, how did you actually come up with the funds to get it going?
So a couple different ways is, you know, the biggest thing is loans. So like the majority of your well, I shouldn't say the majority now, because now going through the second build out, the build out was more expensive than the equipment, but mostly most gyms on a smaller, like under 10,000 square feet, your equipment's going to be probably your most expensive, just because there's less square footage that you have to do work to. So then most of your money is allotted towards equipment. So that was the biggest thing, to loan out for all that. I did have school money that like my grandparents had saved for my brother and I to go to school. I didn't have to use it because I earned a full ride scholarship. So like my parents like, well, if you just want to use some of it for the gym, you can use some of it there. So loans, I had that. I flushed my entire bank account that I had saved up. So like I sold my Xbox, sold my computer, sold my paintball gear. I sold everything I could in my possession, so except for my phone, so that I literally could buy bars, buy weights, like things that weren't covered in my loan, that I was like, fuck, I forgot about this. Like I need to buy these specialty bars, I need to buy these metal plates that I didn't put in my loan, you know, things like that. So those were like the three main sources, and then you just reinvest. Like as soon as you open your doors, as soon as you get some money, reinvest. As soon as you get money, reinvest. As soon as you get money, reinvest. And there was times the first 6 months where I'd be like, I don't have fucking money for rent. So a line of credit, you know, whether it's from friends and family or it's from a bank, you, as a business owner, you just fucking figure it out. Like I worked on the side, you know, I still do coaching to help kind of supplement so I can continue to put money back in the business. Like my wife and I could have a really healthy salary, but I'd rather accelerate the growth of our business. So I still do coaching on the side to make money, so that like that pays for our mortgage, so I don't have to take that money from the business. So as a business owner, you just figure it out. But in the beginning, it was loans, savings, and then any extra money that we were going to have for school, but we didn't have to use it. So
damn, that's crazy.
But we started small, bro. So like I see, like I had a kid message me on Instagram the other day, and he was like, I want to do the same thing you're doing. I'm like, bro, this building alone, the build out was $500,000 I had saved to be able to do that. And I was like, out of pocket cash, $300,000 for that build out. And I'm like, and I'm lowballing. That doesn't even include all the fixtures and everything that I brought over from the other gym in terms of like the front desk, the computers, the cleaning supplies, everything that comes included. And then on top of that, that didn't even include the $500,000 of new equipment that we have to buy. So people think like, oh, I want to do what you do. I'd be like, bro, you see that tiny little fucking gym that I was at for 5 years of my life? Like, you know this because you've been a business owner this long, bro. People don't understand what 5 years of eating shit looks like, bro. Like, they just don't understand that. So we started small. It was a small gym, and we overcrowded it to the point where we were forced to grow. Where I think I see so many people open elaborate business schemes and then they're out of business in fucking 6 months because they don't realize, like, dude, it takes time, especially in our industry. You have to build up members, and it takes a long time to build up members. So I think people just go way too hard on thinking it's easier than what it is, and it's not fucking easy.
Yeah, for sure. When did you start to notice that that your plan was starting to pay off? Like, how far into the business?
So we were 5.5 months into the business, and then COVID hit. We got shut down. So, but we were very conservative. My dad is an Excel spreadsheet god, like I said. So when I went to him and I was like, hey, I know the numbers that I want. Can you just show me how to put it on an Excel spreadsheet? So he kind of helped me like put it on an Excel spreadsheet so my brain wasn't so like, I know what I need to do. He helped me kind of organize it. And one word of advice that he taught me that I will tell everyone, whether it's you opening a business or you're buying a house, like always give yourself a 50% contingency. If you think that you're going to get 100 members the first month, you're probably going to get 50. Like, divided by half. Same thing with your build out. If you think your build out's going to cost 150 grand, it's probably going to cost 300. Just double it. Like, whatever you think, there's going to be double the unknowns. So we were so conservative with our numbers And we're like, if we can hit these really conservative numbers, we're gonna make it. Anything past this is killer. And so we did. We're doubling those numbers every month. From the month we opened to we had to close down for COVID, we were ahead of the game. So I knew, okay, if we can just get back open, like I know that we can get, like we were gonna become successful. And I could tell because my like amount of money that I had to break even was getting very small very quickly, which is great. So I knew we were getting very close to breaking even by the time that we had got shut down for COVID. And then we got shut down with COVID, and we can get into all that, but we opened up 2 months. We were shut down for a month and a half while everyone else was shut down for like a year. But we said, fuck that, we're done. We're not going to stay closed anymore. I saw through all the bullshit. I'm like, we're not going to stay closed. So we opened up and we put on, it took us 6 months to get to like 190 members or 170 members. I forgot what the number. It was like 100 and something, above 150, but under 200. Took us 6 months to get there. In one day, we signed up like 140 people in one fucking day.
What the fuck?
So, bro, my mom, my wife, and it was a 16-hour day. I had no voice. You can still hear my voice. It's kind of raspy. I haven't recovered from the first 3 weeks of this new business because we put on a lot of new members. But we read 140 new signups and each person got 3 waivers. Like, bro, it was to the point where there was like 4 people coming in at a time, and I'm like, hey, you guys don't know each other, but stand around because I'm not going to repeat this 4 times. Like, let's just go through it all together so that when you guys sign up, I can just scan your key tag and give it to you. So it was like, and that's when I knew like, oh fuck. But what Andy had taught me was, in his early MSEO, I don't know what episode it was, but he was like, your goal in business is to provide the highest quality product you can. And when a member or a customer walks in your door, that's your opportunity to give them an experience where they're going to want to stick with you. So I was like, we were building the foundation. So when those 140 people came in that first day, and then eventually in the first week, I think we put on 300 new members. And so that was my opportunity to say, all right, motherfuckers, let me show you what we are. And so like it may have taken a year and a half to get them if we had sticked on the regular trajectory. We just got super super speed that COVID week. But if you look at surrounding businesses who were following the same paths of us during COVID, where there was a couple other facilities who were whether it was a gym or a restaurant or whatever it was that stayed open. We were all fucking cranking during COVID because we were the only ones that were open. We said, no, fuck the government, we're staying open. But now fast forward 3-4 years, we're still fucking pumping. I don't know how their businesses are doing, but it was an opportunity of like, you can keep these members or they're just going to go back to their other gyms once, everything opens back up. So we were able to keep those members and continue to grow. And so that was my opportunity to show people like, we're not just a small business, like we're a legitimate business that's growing. So, wow. Yeah, that was wild. It was fucking wild.
That's fucking awesome, bro.
Yeah, it was
Good
crazy.
for you, man.
Yeah.
So what was it that you realized that it was bullshit and that didn't scare you from shutting down?
These are true stories, bro, and I'm not over exaggerating. We lived with 4 roommates at the time, with 3 roommates in college. It was myself, my wife, and then 3 of our really good buddies. And then one of the buddies had a girlfriend who was like always over there. We loved them to death. We still talk to him to this day. And I remember, bro, we were a week and a half in, and I'll be honest, I loved being shut down. I know people are gonna be like, what the fuck? But think about this. I was a fucking junior in college. I gained 60 pounds. I was working, literally I would come open the gym because we weren't 24 hours at the time, so it was just me. We didn't have money to pay anybody. I would come in at 5:30 in the morning, or 5:45, and I would leave at midnight to 12:30 the next morning. So we're talking working about 20 to 21 hours a day, getting 3 hours of sleep. I would wake up, I wouldn't see my wife, and I would go to sleep and she'd already be asleep. Like we saw each other once throughout the day when she would come visit me at the business. So she was she was a director in the Boys and Girls Club. She was helping me pay for food and things like that. So she knows that she's a superstar. But I was like, dude, I get a fuck. At first they were like, 2 weeks to stop the curve, stop the spread. And I'm like, dude, I get 2 weeks off. Like, thank God. And at the time, the shopping center was like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, everyone's shut down. We'll take 2 weeks off. Don't worry. We're not going to make you pay rent. So I'm like, dude, I get 2 weeks to fucking play Call of Duty with my fucking roommates and like basically put a pause on being a fucking 20-year-old business owner. So like I got to just take a pause and like live a normal college life for 2 weeks. And then I remember like week 2, my roommate went to Ralph's because we were right next door to Ralph's, and he came back with no groceries. We're like, hey, bro, like, what happened? He was like, dude, they wouldn't let me in the store. We're like, what do you mean they wouldn't let you in the store? Like, you're not a fucking crackhead. Like, he was like, bro, I didn't have a mask. And we're like, and it was so foreign because we had, masks weren't a thing before 2020. We're like, what are you talking about? And he was like, dude, they wouldn't let me in the store if I didn't have a mask. And I was like, and at that point, my wife and I remember sitting on the counter we had a double sink counter in our condo. And I remember sitting there, I looked at her, I'm like, oh, we're fucked. Like, dude, this is going to get way worse than what they say it is. Like, we're being manipulated. So, because the data wasn't there to support it. Nothing was there to support it. And so we were always kind of skeptical. And then being business owners, we were a little bit more skeptical than most people because we were shut down. They forced us to stay shut down. Meanwhile, liquor stores were open. Amazon was open. So, like, yeah, I had a little bit more bias because I wanted to get my business back open. But the more and more I was like, wait, they're shutting health clubs down, gyms down, health fitness studios down. They want you to stay inside. You can't exercise outside. You can't surf. You can't, like, fucking take a walk. Like, nothing is making sense. The things that make us the healthiest, they're taking away from us. And so it just got weirder and weirder. And then I think it was like a month and a half in where our governor was fucking out at a party at the Foundry with all of his buddies without masks or joking about not having masks. And I was like, all right, dude, this is fucked. We are being played. And so I said, no, fuck it. We're opening on Friday, And we can do a long story about how the chief of One Meet the Time
Let's go.
Oh, cool. I'll get into it because I fucking hate him. And he knows I don't. He's a fucking snake. And now he's like part of the sheriffs. Our head sheriff's great. Him, whatever he is, co-sheriff, whatever, he's a snake. It is what it is. And I'll say that. He called me on the phone and was like, we're going to do this over the phone because I can't have anything in writing. He was like, but you can open up on Friday. That's fine. Or on Monday. And I'm like, if you have your blessing, I'm going to open up on Monday. And he was like, no, you have my blessing. You're going to be 24 hours. You're going to spread people out over time. Like, they clean their machines, whatever. Like, that's fine. Opened up. 2 days later, the motherfucker shows up with a cease and desist. Yeah, sorry, bro. You got to close your business down. I'm like, you told me I can keep my business. You told me yourself that I could open the business. Sorry, dude. Like, it is what it is. Like, you got to close it down. You're going to get fined or shut down or whatever. I'm like, and at that point, I was like, you know what, dude? Like, fuck all of you. Like, and we opened up, we boarded our windows up so you couldn't see inside the business. And then they started things started getting weird where members would come in and they'd be like, yo, dude, there's like someone outside who's like watching from there in a city car. And then it got weirder where there'd be a guy halfway across the parking lot with a huge camera taking pictures of my wife and I coming in and out of the business, started following us where we went. We started having officers record like where we were going. Like, so I was like, dude, I don't know what the fuck's going on, but it didn't matter. And then sure enough, one day, knock on the door, 80-page lawsuit from the county and all the pictures of like them following my wife and I around, our members going places. And I was like, you guys act like we're fucking terrorists, dude. Like, we're gonna fucking bomb somebody. Like, we're not some fugitive. We're not on the fucking FBI's like watch list. Like, what? So we were getting fined. The supposed fine was $2,500 a day for staying open. So we were open for however long. So $2,500 a day times I don't know how long. So it was like legit almost $3,000 a day we were getting fined. And there are one or two other gyms that, they were like, yeah, they can back that statement up because they all got the same warnings. And they came and kept giving us cease and desist orders, like, you need to close. And then at that point, bro, I just realized, I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm either going to lose all my money and close my business down, or I stay open. So I said, fuck it, took all the paper off the wall, took the fences down around the business, and I said, if you guys want to come at me, fucking come at me. Like, I don't give a fuck anymore, bro. I'm not gonna walk around scared. You know that we're open. Dude, we had people coming up and taking videos of us, like obese people, like, you guys shouldn't be fucking open. We had people leaving us reviews saying, this place is as dirty as licking a handrail at Disney World. Like, they had never been there, but they were doing anything they could to get us shut down. Dude, people, this is a true story, it's really freaked my wife out, calling, and they'd leave a voicemail. If you don't fucking shut down, I'm gonna come get you guys. I'll fucking end you guys if I have to. Like, bro, people were leaving death threats, attack threats. Like, it's true. Like, those are true stories, bro. Like, and I actually kept that voicemail on my phone, on the business phone, for like 2 years so I could listen to it, because it like lit a fire under my ass. Like, fuck you. Like, we're gonna be the best that we can be. Fast forward now, they won't admit it, but we were lied to the entire time, obviously.
Yeah.
But we won the COVID lawsuit. Like, I'll skip all the in between details. My lawyer was trying to get me to snitch out other gyms, saying like, well, if you're gonna get fined, you might as well snitch out the ones who didn't get a lawsuit. I said, you want me to fucking snitch out other gyms? Like, no, we're in this together, dude. Like, whether they stay low key or not, I'm not gonna snitch out other business owners. So I just felt like I was like, everyone was in opposition to me, bro. Like, it was wild. It was insane. But
what the fuck, dude?
It was, dude. I tell people, because people still ask me, how was COVID? I'm like, bro, we could write a book on our experience with COVID. So, I mean, we had that lawsuit for whatever it was, a year or whatever. I forgot what it was. And I was 23. It was 22 when I got it, 23 when we were in it. But I was like, as a 22-year-old, and I'm reading this lawsuit, I was like, I don't know what any of this fucking jargon is.
Yeah.
I had no clue how to read a lawsuit. So I was like, I don't know what the fuck any of this is, but I just know that I'm not going to back down. So it just ended up working out. And I felt like an outsider, bro. I'm 22 years old trying to tell 40 and 50-year-olds, like, stop being pussies. Take your masks off. You guys don't want to do this. We don't want to do this. Like, and I felt like I was like an outsider. I stopped going to the market. I've been to the grocery store 4 times the last 4 years. Stopped going to grocery stores, stopped going to stores. I stopped going places. Like, if you were I got yelled at on airlines. I got yelled at because I wouldn't wear a mask anywhere. Walk into the van store to buy vans. They'd be like, hey, sir, you need to put a mask on. I'm like, oh, I appreciate that. Thank you, bro. And I'd walk around without a mask. You need to put a mask. I'm like, no, I'm good, bro. Like, and I would get yelled at from employees. And then you'd look around and you'd see customers. They'd look at me and then they would take their mask off. And I'd be like, you see, guys, like, if you just had some fucking nuts, like, we wouldn't have to deal with this. But, it's one of those, it just really kind of, it put a stain on how I looked at a lot of things, unfortunately. And it's kind of made me more of a hermit now, where I don't really want to go out and look at, like, and be with people, because I'm like, some of you people, not everyone, I have some amazing friends and family, but some of these people that you think that you're cool with would fucking kill you if they had to during COVID. I mean, these are people that told me, shut my business down, I don't give a fuck how much debt you're in, or whatever, like, you're going to kill the grandma down the street. I'm like, well, tell grandma to stay inside. Like, That's not my fault. Like
she's kicking it.
Yeah, bro.
Like she's out in these streets.
You act like she's out at my gym fucking spitting on people and shit, bro. Like, you act like my members are going around licking people on the forehead trying to get them sick, dude. Like,
your grandma don't do shit anyway.
Yeah, bro. So it's
fuck
just
your grandma.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's kind of how we felt about it. It's like, man, fuck your grandma, fuck your grandpa. Yeah, it was just wild, dude. It was absolutely wild, bro. So it was crazy.
What the fuck, dude? That's crazy, bro. Yeah, I mean, luckily we didn't have to deal with none of that shit, dude.
Yeah.
COVID just, I mean, I hate to say it, but it was such a great time for us. Like, business skyrocketed.
I love that.
There was nobody on the road.
That's awesome.
We got to do whatever we wanted. Like, my son didn't have school. My wife didn't have work. We were like ride bikes at night.
Dude, I mean, I think it's one of those times you look back and be like, did it fuck us up? Yeah, but I mean, dude, those are precious moments that you'll probably never get back.
Yeah, no, I love those moments. I love those times, and it definitely showed you like who was who, and who would just like go along with whatever they're told. It's even to like what's going on right now with the election.
Damn,
it is like, damn, are you guys fucking like, am I taking crazy pills? Like, what the fuck is really going on?
That's the goal, bro, is that they want you and I and everyone else around to feel like, even if you and I share exact same point of views, they want you and I to be separated just enough to feel like you're a loner and I'm a loner.
For sure.
And they want all the population to feel that way.
Yeah.
So that's what they did during COVID, bro. And that's what they're doing now.
Yeah, and it's like the thing that I was saying with like the rap battle is like, so many people's opinions, it doesn't matter because they don't do any research. It's the same thing about like the election, what's going on. It was like, I don't even want to talk about like my personal feelings or what have you, but like if everybody feels, if people listening right now, if you feel like you're in the best position that you've ever been, let's just keep rocking with the way it's fucking been.
Yeah.
But if you go to the grocery store and you get 2 bags of groceries and it's over $100 fucking, are you stupid?
2 bags, one bag, bro.
One bag.
Yeah.
Like, something's fucking wrong here, bro. Something's wrong.
I don't know about
here.
you, but I had a diesel truck and I filled up on the way over here and it was well over $100, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I know diesel can be expensive, man, but I remember filling up in 2019 and 2018 and it sure the fuck was not what it is now.
Yeah, but it's just people just don't want to think, dude. And I get it, bro. And I totally get it. Like being somebody who's actually alive and breathing and aware of what's going on, it takes a lot of fucking work. So I understand where people just want to fucking zone out and watch bullshit TV, be on TikTok all fucking day and just fucking jack off all day and go, you know, and fuck whoever random person that they can on whatever app that they're on. Fine, that's fine. Go ahead and fucking do that if that's the life that you want to live. But that's not the life that I want to live, and it's not the life that I'm gonna live. And the fact of it is that the competition is way less. So keep doing that.
Yeah,
keep fucking doing.
Well, that's how I see it. You and I are probably identical in the way that we think, which is like, dude, you're lowering the standard. I'm just gonna fucking shine more, bro.
For sure.
You know, that's how I see it. So
for sure, when the worst time in our recent history happened, which was COVID, we were fucking eating.
Yeah,
and when it gets to the next worst time, because it's gonna fucking come, when it gets to that time, we're gonna be on top again.
Yeah.
Just because of the type of person that you and I are.
Yeah.
That it's just put us in whatever fucking category you want. We're gonna figure it out.
Yep.
Because if you guys are just gonna keep going along with whatever bullshit that you're being fed, that's fine, dude.
Yep.
Go ahead. Like, I don't know. It makes it hard, but then it also makes it easy, because then it's like, okay, well, then now I got to see. It makes it easier the people that I spend time with. You know, like before, people were like grandfathered into my life.
Yeah.
Because I've had them as friends for so long, or we have this kind of bond together. Now it's like, bro, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't fucking make sense.
Exactly, bro. Yeah. Well, you in a way, like, I think what frustrates me a lot is people's idea, and I don't know if it's social media that's done this or it's show. I don't watch TV, so I don't know if it's like shows, but like I always hear people say like, oh, this person only, hits me up when they want something. Like, yeah, motherfucker. Dude, that's how life works, bro. We're humans. Don't get me wrong. It's good to keep close relationships and be a good person. But, like, dude, if I'm out here grinding and you're out here grinding, yeah, I might check on you once in a while. Hey, bro, how's it going? But in reality of life, bro, like, people think, I don't have any friends. Like, motherfucker, none of us do, bro. Like, none of us do. Like, that's like, bro, people think that we need to have all these joyful, fucking crazy relationships where we all, like, fucking make out with our friends and shit. Like, oh my god, I have the best group of friends. Well, guess what? If you guys are that close, you guys are probably talking shit behind all your backs.
Facts.
My closest relationships, bro, are with people who are like, hey, dog, I haven't seen you in 2 months. Hope you're fucking killing it. Yeah. So, like, those are like the best people, because they're out grinding and we're out grinding.
For sure.
That stereotype of like, you need to have a group of 12 friends who are all besties. Like, bro, that's just not reality, bro.
That's definitely movies. You know, for sure. It's like, my friend, I've had him forever. And it's like, no, bro, every single person in my life, we go through issues. And if we make it out of that, we make it out of that. If we don't, we fucking don't.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to stay the same person that I was 10 years ago.
No.
I'm not the same person that I was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be who I am today in 6 months. So if I'm in 6 months now, if I reevaluate and this friendship or what have you doesn't make sense anymore, hey, it doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
They hold on to this idea that, like, the people that are with you, like, always say, like, oh, yeah, I bring my people with me, well, that's cool, dog. I mean, that's great. But, like, in what way are they serving themselves by just being pulled along by you? And then what disservice are you doing to yourself by pulling them along with you? Like, it's one of those where if you're not growing, whatever, and you and your friend, whoever it is, can grow together and still separate. But as long as you guys are growing, it may happen, it may not happen.
Yeah.
But people think that, like, everyone needs to stick together as they pursue things in life, and that's just not fucking reality, bro. Like, that's just not reality.
We'll connect when we connect.
Yeah.
But if I randomly hit you up, that's because when that situation came up in my life, you were the first person that I thought about.
Dude, amen, bro. Amen to that.
Right? And then what better thing would you want than that?
Yeah.
Being like, fuck, I need something with a gym.
Yeah.
David, hey, what's up, bro? I haven't talked to you in a while. I hope everything's good. Do you know where I could get this? Yeah, no, bro.
Exactly,
Let's
bro.
fucking do it. That's it. I'm gonna be like, this fool only hits me up when he fucking needs bolts. What the fuck? No, I want you to hit me up when you fucking
like, motherfucker, I'm the bolt guy, dog. Like, yes, bro. People always do that. Like, and I think it comes down to some like genuineness of you can tell when someone's genuine or not. You know, I'm sure you've had this in business, bro, where someone's like, hey, bro, can I get like 2 of these, you know, on the house or whatever? And that's not real friends buy things from friends. That's how it works. But, you know, I think most people are genuine enough where it's like, yeah, dude, like hit me up if you need anything, bro. You know, and then there are some people who suck too much of your time and take advantage of you. But I mean, I think that's pretty rare, far in between.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that that's on us as the, like a business owner to be able to start vetting that.
Exactly.
And, you know, who do you let in your life? Whose calls do you answer? How fast do you get back to texting this certain person? You know, it is what it is, dude. Yep. That's just how it goes. But this road is a lonely road.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of benefits that come with it. So if you want to have that road where, yeah, you have like, you know, 10, 12 friends and, oh, yeah, tonight I'm going to hang out with this person. I'm going to hang out with that person. Yeah. That's cool. Whatever. Do whatever you're going to do. But like there's definitely something else that's going to be lacking.
Yeah.
Because you only have a certain amount of time from throughout the day.
Yep.
Like if you look at your actual day and you have to, okay, let's start subtracting. Sleep. Okay. Take that away. Let's start subtracting. Okay. Well, you don't ever take in the time that you're actually sitting and eating food. Okay. Yeah. Let's take that out.
How many hours of the day? 2-3 hours of the day.
How long do you fucking use the restroom? Let's start subtracting that. So you're subtracting. And now you only have, okay, now I have 5-6 hours of my own personal time.
Yeah. And then if you have a family, that's even less.
And then when do you fucking expect me that I'm going to kick it with John and be like, fuck yeah, John, let's go to BJ's and kick it for 4 hours and talk about problems.
That's funny.
We're not fucking hanging out and we're not talking about
John.
We're not talking about space and we're not talking about fucking new ideas. We're talking about some problems that you don't want to fix and you don't want to face them, but you want to unload on me when I could be at home with my children, hanging out with them and seeing life through their eyes and having them making experiences with them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We all have so much shit going on, especially if you know someone who's a business owner. And I think as business owners, it's good to keep up with each other. Like with Star, like, hey bro, how's everything going? You need help with anything? And we have a lot of other business owners that we do that with, of like, dude, if there's any way I can help you, even if it's just talking, let me know. Because you know, if you pour into them, they'll be there for you no matter what.
Facts.
But it's those people, bro, that are like from high school or from whatever. Like, I don't get offended anymore. I stopped doing that a long time ago because we opened our business when I was 20. So like, I didn't get invited from the fucking get-go. Yeah. It is what it is. And I'm used to it. And you know what? And I don't expect that because the times that I have been like, well, thanks for the invite. Well, the person's like, well, bro, you have a business. I'm like, you know what? Let me take my EU out of this. You're right, bro. Like, why would you invite me? Like, I am very busy. So I totally understand that perspective. But too many people are like, well, I don't get fucking invited to anything anymore. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Take that time. Go fucking do something, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and see that as an opportunity where, like, maybe that group of friends is you are now moving and you're leaving them behind. And so you're getting invited less to things or whatever because you're getting left behind. But you also can't just keep getting invited and keep staying in the same fucking place. Yeah. If those group of friends are all still fucking around or whatever, like, bro, again, fuck John, bro. Yeah. Like, you have to move forward at some point, you know?
Yeah, no. And it's definitely hard. Like, I see that you just jumped right into it. For me, it was a lot longer. Like, I didn't start my business till maybe 25 or 26. Mm-hmm. And it was more of a like a organic thing. Yeah. The way that you did it is fucking awesome. I wish that I would have done that. But
man, organic is fucking awesome too.
It definitely gave me a lot of time to have to grow and grow into the person that I am today and deal with these kind of things that we're talking about now, which there's so much value in to being able to talk about it, because maybe there's younger people that want to start businesses and they're having these issues and they're like, yeah, kind of that. This is where you're gonna end up. You're gonna go through those things where it's like, damn, now this person doesn't hit me up. But if I was to look at it now with a more mature eyes, I'll say, okay, well, do I hit them up? You know, when they invite me and I'm like, oh, I can't go. Like, how does that make them feel?
Yeah, exactly.
That I don't go to these certain things. You know, I don't call, like, well, they don't ever call or ask how my kids are going. Well, how often do I call and ask about their kids?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And you gotta with business, you gotta be, or with even just being a high functioning person and growing all the time, you always have to look inside.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to be the change that you want to see, you have to change yourself first.
100%.
You know, and I look at that too as like, yeah, I don't know if I was them, how I would feel about me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like the biggest thing that I could do is just let everybody know that my home base is my home base, and that's where all of my focus goes.
Yeah.
And if we do ever interact on like, you know, at a time where we have to do fun things or whatever, like, just know that this is something that I'm taking time out of my life, just as you are.
Yeah.
Taking time out of your life. So I'm going to make this the best experience that I can.
Exactly.
I just want you to understand that, like, the way that you value time, I don't know, but this is the way that I value time.
Yeah, 100%.
Even coming to the podcast,
yeah,
you know, like 3-4 hours of you being here, like, I value that so much because there's so many things that you could be doing. You know, you say you have a child and then one on the way.
Yeah.
Bro, that's intense.
Yeah.
You know, and just you spending this time for us just meeting and to have this conversation, like, I really appreciate that a lot. And once you start to understand that, then you can kind of take like the ego away from it. Like, yeah, maybe they don't hit me up because they're busy. Because they're dealing with the shit that they got going on. Mm-hmm. But when we do kick it, let's talk about fucking space or something.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about your problems.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is that, like, it's the time that you make with those people. You know, as business owners, you get this. Like, you don't have time to do bullshit things. So the time, like you said earlier, which is when you're with someone, I'm trying to make the best out of the time that I'm with somebody. Yeah. So let's not just, like, whine and cry about things unless you're going through something that
unless you need it. Yeah, hit me up.
Yeah, but it's one of those where when you're with someone, it's like, okay, how do we make that time valuable? Because you're busy and I'm busy. We somehow linked together at this point in time, you know, make the best out of it type of thing.
Yeah. Man, that's the Andy thing, bro, because it'll get me fucking going. I'm like, fuck it, you're a fucking pussy. Bro, work harder, pussy.
You should see, dude, when I'm at the business mix, especially like, we had a round table at the gym the other day where we started going off on this tangent, and it was me and Star, and we started like popping off about what's going on in the world and everything, and whether you want to, like, politics, conspiracy theories, all this shit, right? And then all of a sudden another dude came up and he chimed in, and we're fucking going at it, you know, like in a good way, like good dialogue. And then another dude comes up, and then another dude comes up, and another dude comes up, and our general manager walks out, and she's like, you got a whole fucking stadium here, people, dude. And we're just like, oh, man, fuck this, fuck that, man. This is some bullshit. Like, we get fucking going, dude.
I love it, dude. I love it.
Yeah, I can get very intense when I get into it, because it's an intense thing, because I don't think people take it as serious as what they should be.
For sure.
You know? And so with the future of us and our country and our people, like, or just themselves as a gym owner, I get to see people not taking themselves serious enough. And so it makes it one of those things where, like, if you took it more serious, it would be beneficial to not only you, but the ripple effect you're going to have around you, which ultimately is how we solve our issues.
Yeah, dude. And yeah, a lot of it, especially, you know, with politics, and then, you know, following certain things that are just straight up bullshit. It's like, it's such a reflection on the people's actual lives and how they live it. And
Amen.
And it's so hard for me to like, man, just like shit on them, bro. Like, that's why your life is fucked up. That's why it is how it is. But it's not.
Man, dog.
I'm trying to get you to understand. But what if that's not the life that they fucking want to live? Fine, but I don't want to hear any of your. I don't want to hear none of that shit.
Dude, it's like, I don't want to hear that you're unfit, or your clothes don't fit, or you feel like shit,
or you don't have money,
or you don't have, or I got laid off my job, or oh my god. I'm like, well, dude, look at the actions you fucking taken. Like, today is literally the compilation of the last 1,000 days of decisions you've made. So if your life sucks today, or it's hard today, well, let's look at the last fucking 3 years. What decisions did you make?
What have you fucking done? You know, and it's just like, you know, you go take a piss, and there's piss on the seat. Clean it. It's not your fucking piss. It doesn't matter, dude.
Yes.
Fucking clean it.
We had one guy today in the gym, and I was watching, and I love this gentleman. And he was walking through the gym, and it was like real slow and empty, and there was like a piece of paper like this big on the ground. Someone probably wiped the machine down, maybe it got caught, it got ripped. and he like walks by, he stops, and he like looks at it and turns around and goes and picks it up. Like that's not his piece of paper, but he literally just deposited goodwill into himself.
sure.
So he's like, no matter what, he's taking the step where like whether that's my responsibility or not, I need to make sure that I do what I know I should do. And people just don't take enough time to do that. I mean, they don't even do the things they should do, let alone things like that.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you fucking expect? Your life is a piece of shit, bro. Like, what the fuck do you expect?
I mean, just for people like you and I, 1 + 1 = fucking 2. I don't, and then it just drives me so crazy. Like, how do you
I
not?
get so mad, bro.
How do you not fucking understand it? How do you not see it? And that's why I say it's like such a lonely place, because I can't have these conversations with people because then they're just gonna hate me.
Well, I don't even think it's that, bro. I think it's they're so uncomfortable with themselves that they're just gonna be like the normal answer. Yeah, man. That's crazy, bro. I get it. And then they just. So, bro, did you watch the Raiders yesterday?
Yeah.
Because they are so uncomfortable with that conversation because they know that they're subconsciously lying to themselves. And so they don't want to have that conversation because it's a reflection of themselves. Where you and I can be like, I fucked up here. I did this wrong. This is how I'm correcting it. Like, we're very realistic, like self-reflection, you know? Where most people, they just don't, like you said earlier, they want to ignore it. They want to go watch TikTok. They want to go watch Instagram because it's an escape from the reality of decision making they've made in their lives.
Yeah. And not saying that I'm better than any of that,
No,
because
not at all,
I have those same conversations, but you know, I do something about it. I try. Yeah. I understand it. You know, that's the first fucking step, is understanding, like, fuck yeah, I'm being a bitch.
Yeah.
In this area.
Yeah, right the difference is you might wake up, and I think about this all the time. I think I wake up and there's a motherfucker out there named David who has a gym and he's grinding harder than I am. So if I wake up and maybe like last night, baby woke up, I only got a couple hours of sleep, whatever, I think it was like 5.5 hours sleep, which is less than normal. Wake up, I got to go work out at 5 a.m. I have a full day of work. I got a podcast I got to be ready for, you know, and then I have to go back and help out, you know, again, whatever it might be. I know I'm not going to get home till 9 o'clock, but there's some motherfucker out there who's putting in more work than I am. So, like, I have no excuse. Doesn't matter how I feel. If I'm sick, I have a sore throat, like, I have to execute on the things that are going to put me forward no matter how I feel, dude. Like, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah. Do you ever feel like sometimes that you let off the throttle?
I wouldn't even say it's letting off the throttle. I think it's just maybe I just get distracted. You know, it's very easy for me to go down a rabbit hole of like, I'm a very driven individual. That's just how it is, and I don't want to toot my own horn. But I mean, I knew from an early age, selling things, buying things, selling things, you know, and then opening a business at, you know, starting at 19, opening it at 20. Like, I just knew that I was different than a lot of people because just people were like out drinking, having fun, you know, whatever. And I was like, that's just not the life that I want. I don't know if I was born with it. I don't know what it is. But I can get driven in the wrong direction sometimes. So, like, I can, you know, I'll go down a rabbit hole of like, fuck, we need to do this with a business. Or, like, not open another business. Or not. I don't get distracted insane, but like, we're all like, oh man, this guy's doing so much fucking better than I am. He's been in business maybe a year less. Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? And then I just have to remind myself. And that's why the Arete group is so important, those groups, because it reminds you that you're on the right path. You just got to put your head down, put your blinders on, and fucking keep going where you're going. And that realigns me. And one thing that has always helped me with that, like, I've done 75 hard 3 times, but I would say like hard physical exercise always keeps me on the straight and narrow of like, go out, whether it's like walking early in the morning by myself with no music, just like fucking in my own thoughts, or it's like going and doing a physical workout that's like difficult, tail failure, whatever it is, something that like makes me have to stop and forget about my issues, like jujitsu, where it's like, I'm trying not to die and get choked out by this gentleman. I cannot think about the fact that maybe I had a cancellation today at my business, or maybe my general manager didn't, you know, whatever it might, like, you know, it doesn't matter. She's never done anything wrong. But
yeah.
That was my example. So having those things that like make me forget about my issues, it like shrinks my world, where it's like, dude, your life is not that important. So like, it makes you realize, okay, let me get back on the straight and narrow and just get back to what I was doing.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think it's easy to get driven in the wrong directions.
For sure. I think that's one of my biggest problems, is I'm in my head a lot, and like these just conversations could just definitely spiral out of control.
Yeah.
You know, you have one problem, well, whatever the fucking problem is, like, people have had bigger problems and have succeeded from there, you know, and those are always the things that I tell myself, but it's always like, I've always been like a worrier, you know, always worried about, you know, what's gonna happen if this or that. So
Yeah.
I'm really trying to be more in the moment and just like trying to take any worry away, because bro, I started in 2009. It's 2024.
Yeah.
Like whatever was gonna happen would have happened
Exactly.
already.
So within that time period, if it was even 6 months, if something would have happened, it would have happened already in that 6 month period. You're talking about 2009, 2024. Something would have fucking disastrous would have happened. You've made it through already.
Yeah. So it's just like, fuck it, dude. What do I really want? What really matters to me is making memories.
Yeah.
Because if I lose everything, if you put me in the middle of a desert with naked nothing, at least that's what I have.
Yeah.
Is my memories. And I want to be able to cherish those memories and be able to build on top of that and make as many memories as possible.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that I do struggle with a lot still. Do you ever have any anxiety or anything like that?
Yeah, I do a lot. You know, in our industry, especially with social media, you know, people think it's cool to open gyms, and it really did blow up like more towards the beginning of COVID, end of COVID. I see more privately owned facilities. The commercial model is starting to like slowly, I don't know, I don't want to say die because I don't know their numbers, but it's becoming more popular to have like cooler, you know, privately owned facilities. And so I always get worried of like relevance. Like, are we going to stay relevant? Like, you know, but I think about what the basis of a business is, and the basis of a business is not, you know, making money. It's customer experience. How are we treating our customers? And so that really is what matters more than anything. I mean, I won't name any other businesses, but there's other gyms in, let's just call it a 30-mile range, who might have better equipment. They might have a bigger facility, you know. But I don't know if we're doing better than them or not, but I know that we're doing pretty good. Even if we have competitors around us, it's because of the way that we treat our people. But what really has helped me the most, besides that, that one thing, what's helped me the most is just expanding my time horizon. And this is something that's taken, it's a new concept I've learned in the last year, and whether I've learned it from like Alex Hormozy, he kind of briefly touched on it, and then somebody else, I kind of just put it all together. And it really hit me like 6 months ago. I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine who does clothing, and he was saying things like, bro, like, I don't even know if like, this is what I want to do, but I don't know if I should keep doing it. Like, it's frustrating. It's taking long, but he's growing. And so we kind of like, we're having a conversation. I'm like, bro, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, I think about it like this. I'm going to be a business owner and hopefully a gym owner for the rest of my life. That's my goal. I don't have a backup.
Yeah.
And so I think about if I'm doing it now at 26 or if I'm doing it when I'm 75. It doesn't matter how long it takes me, because at the end of the day when I die, it doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't. Like, they're going to forget about your and my name. Like, I don't know my great-grandfather.
Yeah.
After 2 generations, 3 generations, no one's going to give a fuck about you.
Facts.
So I think about it like, no matter what, if I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life, why do I keep measuring my benchmarks so much it's making me anxious and depressed or whatever? It's like, bro, whether I have 1 gym now or I have 2 gyms, I have 10 gyms, I have 100 gyms, it doesn't matter, because I'm not going to stop. So as long as I'm continually progressing and I'm, again, creating memories or providing a salary to my general manager and my, hopefully, to grow staff, you know, as long as I'm doing the things that I'm doing, I'm fulfilled in my life, raising good kids, treating my wife with the respect she deserves, it doesn't matter. So that's what I did, is what's helped me is expanding my time horizon so that it kind of like, I don't feel as bad if I make a mistake. Because, dude, whether it takes me a month, a day, a month, a week, or a year to recover from that mistake, it doesn't matter, because I'm not going to stop. So it doesn't matter if I end up with 100 gyms or I end up with a fucking million gyms. I have a goal. I want to be, you know, I want to own 1,000 gyms or 100,000 gyms. But whether I get there by the time I'm 40 or 50 or 60 doesn't matter, because it's always going to be hard. I'm always going to keep doing it. I'm never going to stop. And as long as I'm providing the services and the things and the memories that I want, it doesn't matter. Because when, like you said, when I get to when I'm older, if they put me in the middle of a desert with nothing, I would have remembered the things that we did and the memories and the celebrations and the yearly anniversaries of the gym and the communities that we created and the smiles that we made, you know? So that's kind of what helps me keep me feel a little bit more grounded of like, dude, I'm going to get there. Yeah. Just focus on the product. Focus on the customer, make sure my people are taken care of on my team, and we're going to get there at some point.
Bro, I love that. I love that so much. And it's so refreshing to just hear it, you know, because I'll say it to myself. I'll have, you know, you have that voice in your head, but then you have that other voice, and they're just scrapping all day.
Yeah.
they're going at it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes so much sense. It's like, okay, so what does it matter? Like I would say, when my daughter, she was born in beginning of 2021, I took time off to spend time with her,
Yeah,
and to be around for those early days of her life, you know, over a year.
yeah.
I'm like, damn, the business right now could be where it's going to be at in 4 or 5 years, but then I wouldn't have those memories. And
Yeah.
what the fuck does it matter?
Exactly.
What does any of this matter? Because I don't have an end goal. There's not a goal. There's not a day that I want to be like, yeah, one day I'm gonna just be on the beach and fucking chilling and drinking a margarita.
That's not my goal. That's not our goal,
I don't
bro.
care about none of that shit, dude. It doesn't matter. Like, my goal is just to be able to live the fucking most rad life that I can live.
Yeah.
And it's just when I go out to eat, if there's a fucking dessert on there, I'm gonna eat that dessert. Like, that doesn't sound like, oh, that's not even the crazy thing to do. No, but like, if you came from where I came from, like, there wasn't even a dessert because we didn't go out to eat. So
yeah, we didn't go out to eat either. We almost never went out to eat.
You know, it doesn't. Everybody has different goals, and it's like, okay, yeah, I want to be fucking 100 million. Okay, for what? Yeah. What do I want to do to be 100 million? Okay, so now I have all these cars, and damn, now I gotta worry about all these all these fucking cars.
It's like the rewards. Like the rewards come from the product, the service, the experience you create. Like, you and I focus on, like, dude, I go down there and I see the bolts that you create and everything that, like, and I look at the detail in those, and like, okay, whatever customer is getting these is going to be fucking excited.
Hell yeah.
And so at the end of the day, as your business continues to grow, as well as hopefully, knock on wood, ours, you know, we hopefully will. I do want to own a Lamborghini, and I want to have nice shit, and I want to provide the things that my wife wants, you know, the dream car she wants. But that's not what's going to make or break our lives.
Facts.
Like, that's just not, dude, I got an 04 diesel, and she drives a Kia, you know, and it's one of those, and we bought our home. We're very happy to be in our home. And I'm blessed. I get to see my son every day, and, you know, and all those things. And we want to have nice things. But at the end of the day, whether I have them now or I have them in 5 years, it doesn't matter, because you and I, our goal is never, like you said, to go fuck off and buy a yacht. Is it cool to take a vacation once in a while? Yeah. But, like, dude, I want to be a business owner for the rest of my life. The exhilarating of building our gym for the last 8 months and then opening it up and getting to see the customers' reactions, like, this is fucking crazy.
Hell yeah.
Like, that is the things that we chase, of building and creating, like. But you wouldn't understand that if your goal was just to make money. And
for sure, yeah, I was definitely I was having this conversation on a podcast that I was on recently, and we were talking about business, and the host has a successful business, but our idea of business is totally different, and we came to the conclusion that he's more of a business person, and I'm more of a creative.
Yeah,
you know, and I just love creating things. From when I was a child, I used to play with Lincoln Logs and Connects and Legos, like creating to drawing to like this fucking studio.
Which is badass. The studio's sick.
I created it in my head. I'm like, this will be cool. This will be cool. And so many mixtures of different aspects of my life. Like those toys, I wanted those when I was a kid, but they were like super expensive, so I never got them. And now I get them, and it's just like, this is all a representation of me. Is all of this making money? I don't know, but that's not my end goal.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because I'm lucky enough where the ball's rolling, where the money's coming in, that I'm not having to worry about, like, fuck, we need to make payroll or what have you.
Yeah.
You know, but if it did get to that point where the pressure was on, I know that I can turn it on.
Yeah.
And go.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like that's my focus, is the creativity and being able to give that to people, you know, when we send out a kit, and then the person tags us on Instagram, and then I see them at car shows, and then they win awards. I'm like, bro, we literally packed that here and made it and sent it, and he installed it and got an award for that shit. Like, that is where the value's at. and it's so hard to just have to think about that and focus on that, because then there's always the other part of me, which was the part of me that most people are, and the people that how I was bred was, you got to make sure you have money, you never know. But it's like, fuck that, I'm betting on myself, dog. Yeah. I'm betting on myself and the skills that I have and the skills that I've learned.
That's what
that you could put me wherever the fuck you want to put me, and I'm gonna make it happen, no matter what it was. If I lost all this shit today, okay, well, what else? Well, everybody else needs a t-shirt. Maybe I'll fucking start selling t-shirts.
Yeah.
I've met so many people that do t-shirts. I can get shit made. Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude.
You're gonna figure it out no matter what.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's just this like entrepreneur life is not for everybody, and I wish it was. I wish everybody would understand it, but it's like something that you're born with.
You know, the more that I'm in it, and the more that I talk to other, and I don't like to call myself an entrepreneur yet. I still see us as a small business, and everyone says we're entrepreneurs, but I feel like it's just like an imposter. Like, maybe when I have 5, 10, 15, 20 gyms, you know, and we're doing, you know, crazy things. But I think you're right, where I hate to admit it, dude, but I think that there's discipline that you can build in someone to make them an amazing leader or manager or part of a dude, but like, you just don't fucking get it if you're like born with it. Like, I don't, that's why the intensity is there between us. Like, because I can get so into, my wife tells me like, babe, calm down. Like, I can get so intense because I want so much for other people, because I want so much for me. And so like, people always tell me, like, they'll come into the gym like, bro, when do you stop working? I'm like, I don't. And I'm not lying to you. I do not. Like, it's in my fucking blood, where even if I'm a huge 49er fan, our family of 49er fans, I cannot sit down and watch a full 49er game. I will get up halfway, like, I need to go mow the lawn. Like, I need to do something.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not like I'm fucking ADD. Like, I can sit down and complete something. That's not what it is. It's just the fact that, like, if I am not putting energy into productive action, I self-implode.
For sure.
Like, I have to be doing, and I don't want people to think that, like, oh, well, fuck, dude, I'm not like that. What the fuck's wrong? Dude, some people, like, most people, not even some, most people are not built like that. And that, it's fine. Like, some people don't want to be owners. Our general manager, she doesn't want to own the gym, but god damn, she is a badass. She is a fucking badass in our business. So there's just some people who are really fucking good at what they do, and they just don't, like, I will be up till 10 at night mocking shirts up or doing systems in our back end of our POS system. Like, my wife would be like, dude, when are you gonna go to bed? Like, I don't know, dude, when I get this shit finished. Yeah. And that's just how it is. But, you know, 99% of the world is thought now that, like, I should be my own business owner. I'm my own boss. I'm not going to work for somebody else. Like, dude, you realize you probably could have more time, more money, more happiness just being a badass working for somebody than working for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a gift and a curse.
It is. Oh, dude. Jesus Christ, that's so true, bro. That is so true.
It's a gift and a curse, because it definitely does make me feel bad when I'm spending time with the family.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I start cleaning or something, and it's like, damn, I don't want them to feel like this time that we spend together I don't value this, and I'm actively trying to, like, turn that side off of me. Yeah. And that's something that I do work on, is when I'm at home and I'm doing family time, I'm gonna do family time. Yeah. But when I'm in grind mode, I'm fucking tapped in, bro.
Yeah.
I'm tapped in, and I'm gonna do whatever I want, and I'm gonna make this shit happen. And that's the gift part of it. And then the curse is like when you're on vacation and you're just like, fuck, I need to check my email. Man, fuck the emails, you know. Then you gotta have that other voice in your head, like, fuck that, dude. You work too hard. You need to be able to let off, you know. And it's just, it's just that battle that you have, and people just won't understand it.
They don't get it.
And you're right. If you learn discipline, you'll be the baddest motherfucker. But there's that one thing. It's like the why. And you can't really teach that.
It's like the love for it, you know.
Can't teach it.
Like, dude, it's like, I know it sounds weird. It's like you like getting kicked in the nuts, like all the time, bro. Whether it's like a manufacturing issue with something, or and overcoming that. Okay, well, how can we design around this? And then we haven't told the stories, but there was like 3 or 4 times in the new gym while we were in the process of it, and my contractors and our really good friends who worked on the job would know. We almost shut down that project 4 times, like probably more than that actually. Where it's like. That's a $400,000 problem. Like, I don't have that money, so we better figure it the fuck out. And so, and it's getting past that, and you think like, fuck yeah, we got past it, and then you get kicked in the nuts again, where it's like, hey, we have this new problem, and it's like, well, you got to get past that. Hey, here's another problem, and so it's like overcoming and overcoming and overcoming. Where most people on the first time would have been like, sorry guys, we ran into this issue. It's just not going to work out. But for us, it's like, no, we do not take no's for answers. And it's like that feeling of like, I think it's the feeling of being an underdog all the time. You always feel like you're battling against a higher power that's trying to keep you down. Yeah. That's all I can explain it by. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. When I definitely have my mind set like this is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen. It might not happen exactly how I thought it was going to happen. Maybe I'm going to have to make some adjustments or what have you. But the only reason it's not going to happen is if I get that feeling that I'm pushing too hard and I'm not recognizing these signs, because 100%. Then something bad is going to happen.
Amen to that, dude. That's one thing that Andy's taught us early in the MFCO project years ago, is that 99, he even says that's 100%. Trust your gut. So if you have a feeling like, okay, we're doing this project, but I have this weird feeling that this is really going to fucking screw us, then it's like, let me take a step back. I'm going to refocus. Probably is. But again, like, I don't know if it's something that we're born with. But I mean, I've had those things where it's like, this is not top priority. Why? I don't think we should be doing this. Let's revisit this in 6 months or a year or whatever it might be. So I think, and that's, like you said, when you came up organically, I would argue that's more important than just me, because I took so many L's in the beginning. Whereas, and I'm sure you did too, but organically, you get to see things from a slower scope.
For sure.
And so you get to like see them form and be like, halt. And then like, and then go different ways. Where for me, I just got started. And so like, it was brutal, bro. I was just getting kicked in the fucking nuts every single day.
Well, with things. Like when you're jumping out of the plane when you're still building a parachute.
Exactly, bro.
Yeah. For sure.
I've never heard that before, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's like, say if I'm going to a car show or something, and I forgot something. Let me turn back around. And then this happened, and something, and then I got a flat tire. That thought comes in my head like, maybe I shouldn't be going to this fucking car show right now. And when that thought comes in my head, there's that specific feeling, that specific thought that it's like, okay. Because there's been times where I just kept pushing. Yeah. Because I know I'm going to make it happen. So I'll keep pushing, and something really bad happens.
Exactly.
Like, you should have stopped. You should have seen the sign. And that feeling, that always makes me think, like, where does that come from?
I don't know if it's something that we haven't. I was there. I wasn't there, and actually I have to give credit to my wife, because she's the one who's like, as much as we talk business and logical arguments on things, she's really like taught me to like tap into more like what my special skills are. And her and I have a very weird skill of like, I literally can walk in, like someone came in, I won't mention the person's name, came into the gym, they got a pass, and I'm like, I know this sounds weird, dude, and it sounds terrible. I'm like, that guy beats his wife. Like, I'm just talking to him, like, this dude is a domestic. And dude, sure enough, my wife said, do you know who that is? I'm like, no, I don't. Well, so-and-so, they had relationship issues because of domestic violence. And it's something my wife has taught me to tap more into, of like really picking the things out of just the way people interact with each other, or the way like the eye contact people give me, the hand, like, it's just something like, I don't know, I think it's in us, and it just takes skill to like bring that out.
For sure.
And I think I definitely was pushing that more to the side, like spirituality, ghosts, things like that, where I was just always like logical. All that spoon fell because it was falling off the edge of the whatever. My wife's like, well, sometimes like you should dig a little deeper in terms of like believe the feeling that you're having. If you're having that feeling that like something isn't lining up, you probably should trust that. And the more that I've leaned into that, the better decision making my abilities have become, and the better the outcomes have become. Instead of, like you said, pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing, when in reality, like, oh, I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to keep pushing. And then it ends up being really fucked up.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we have it, whether it's a small percentage of people or everyone has it. Maybe some of us are born with a little bit more of a window to it, but it's something that it definitely takes skill and time to like really blossom over time.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Like, I think it's like a faith kind of thing, and giving trust into something. Maybe that's where some religions come from.
Yeah,
you know, giving trust into something that you can't prove it.
Exactly.
But it's happened more times than I can just blow it off as being like coincidence. No, it's not a coincidence. Mm-hmm. There's a reason that I met this person. There's a reason that you and I have met, and we're not going to know until the future. And there's reasons why I reached out to you.
Yes.
There's a reason for it. And when I'm scrolling, when I'm thinking, when I'm just like, oh shit, I wonder who would be a good guest. You know, oh, let me think of people that I see around town that are, you know, that are doing something. And there's a reason that you came to mind. There's a reason that I reached out to you, and there's a reason that this happened.
And there's a reason why when you reached out, because I've had other people that reach out for podcasts. There's a reason why as soon as I'm like, dude, I'm down. Like,
fuck yeah, dude.
I don't know what it is. Like it's one of those where it's like, our minds vet each other. Like, this dude's vetted. I've never met Frank before, never ever been introduced to him, but I know I should do this. And
then we'll know in the future. And
at
that's
some point,
what happened with Star too. Same thing. You know, I never even knew him, and I saw him that he was doing his meal preps. This was fucking years ago. Yeah. And I reached out and had him on the podcast just because I'm like, fuck it, I need an episode of the podcast. Let me hear this guy's story. And we just clicked. And then he's turned out to be an amazing person. I love him. My wife loves him, dude. I'll run into him randomly, and it's mad love, dude. And like, I did 75 hard. And
oh hell yeah, I didn't know that. Fuck yeah, dude.
I've actually I did it, and then my wife and I just did it in January.
My wife and I have done it twice together.
Sick,
that is
dude.
Super dope.
Yeah, so I get my meals from Star, and then one day after my first 75 hard, he got me the coin, the 75 hard token, and I was like, damn, people don't realize that. They don't realize such a small gesture like that, how much impact it has.
Yeah.
And it's just you're in a different club now, you know. Yep. You're in a different group of mindset of people, which, like, I haven't talked to Star for a long time, but I know if we were sitting down right here, we could talk for hours.
Yeah, dude, you know? Every time. Yep.
And it's just it's him, it's just so many other people that are just they just get it.
Yeah.
You know, what is it? I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what motivates him to keep wanting to push on and keep doing 75 hard.
Yeah.
And then the whole live hard. Like, I don't get it, but what I do get it that we're similar in some ways, and he has that hunger that he's trying to feel, you know, and it's a beautiful thing, dude.
It is. I mean, we all come from different backgrounds, and somehow we have all ended up, whether it's through recommendations, we found Andy and did 75 hard, or own businesses. Like, it just, you find each other, dude. Like, it's just, it's a weird thing that, like you said, I don't know if we're born with, or, you know, it's like we have this like sonar tracker that like kind of brings people together who do similar things.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just like probably like how gangsters and hood rats, they always just end up like, this is where we're supposed to be at. Yeah, fuck it.
Hey, bro. That's you know, for different strokes for different folks, bro. You know,
meet me at the Q Club. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, bro, I knew too many people that came from Q Club, bro.
Shout out to you, fool. Fuck yeah. So tell me about the new gym, bro. First, both locations. Where are both locations?
So the original location was on Channel Islands in Wainimi. So we closed that one down. So we moved. That one was right across from Wheelhouse Dispensary, like right on the corner.
Yes.
So one corner's us, one corner's Wheelhouse Dispensary. We closed that one down. Our 5 years lease ended. We outgrew that motherfucker like 3 years ago. And we were like, we cannot find a space to move to because, you know, real estate is expensive. We're in SoCal. You know, we just couldn't find the right space. And we were really against. We did not want to move to to North Oxnard. Like, dude, there's so many gyms in North Oxnard. It's just like insane over there. We don't want to compete with everybody over there. Like, no one gives back to the hood. Like, nobody gives back. They get big, they fucking ball out, and then they leave.
Facts.
And so I'm like, we need to give back to South Oxnard. But there was nothing in South Oxnard, and we skipped over the building that we're at now, which is 3075 Saviors, which is like right next door to Tacto Mexico, La Raza, like right there. It's an old Goodwill that was right
across
there.
from McDonald's.
Across from McDonald's and U-Haul, right there.
Oh, shit, okay. Yeah.
So it used to be Joanne's Fabric,
yes.
and then it was Goodwill. So.
Oh, wow. Damn, that's fucking huge,
It's a big space, bro. It's 4 times the size. It's much bigger.
Oh,
so
wow.
my wife and I, like, we have searches on different commercial websites that like send us notifications of like square footage buildings that come up for sale and notifies us, hey, this is for sale, this is for lease, and that way we can check them out. And we did. A lot of members don't know, we toured other buildings. Like, we toured other buildings in North Oxnard and different places. Like, and they were great buildings, but for whatever reason, they fell through. You know, they didn't want a gym there. It was after COVID. A lot of gyms were closing down, so they didn't want to take the risk. And so even though our financials were great, they were like, oh my God, this is great. What are you guys? We're a gym. Like, oh no, sorry. So we kept seeing this building and seeing this building and seeing, I'm like, dude, like, that building's fucking terrible, dude. Like, it's just one of those, like, from the athletic go so bad from the outside, it could not convince me it was right. And we were like about a year out from our lease, and I'm like, okay, it took us like six months to a year to kind of get everything going with our current gym with number one. And I'm like, we're either going to fucking find something in the next month, or we are going to have to re-sign a lease here. And I would do anything that I could to not re-sign a lease. Long story short, property managers are terrible. We can get into all of that. Don't want to. I needed to get out of that building for space purposes mainly. So I was like, you know what, fuck it, dude. Like, I'm just going to hit him up. It's a good price. Let's go check the building out. So we hit him up. I mean, the building was so bad, bro. Like, the doors didn't work. They bolted on like 50 bolts, and you had to take these big wood pieces off because people kept breaking into the building. Because it was the only vacant building in that shopping center.
Gotcha.
It wasn't that bad of a shopping center, but because that space was like 9 times the size of every other unit in that center, it was the anchor. And so when the anchor is down, everything turns to shit. So, and everyone knew that. And so I was like, let's just go see. And I swear to God, as soon as he opened those doors, he took the boards off, we walked inside, I just remember this feeling, the gut feeling. I looked at my wife, I'm like, this is it, like this. And I looked at the property manager, I'm like, we're signing a lease. Like, I don't give a fuck what it takes. And I called him every day. Anybody else reaching out to you? Anyone else reaching out to you? Anyone else reaching out to you? He's like, no, like, you guys are going to get it. Don't worry. I said, I'm worried. Like, I need this building. I just knew it was it. And then we went and visited the building again with our electrician, general contractor, and you know, they were like excited, but they were like, are you fucking sure you want this building, bro? Like, it's a lot of work. I'm like, dude, fucking trust me. Like, it's that same visionary feeling I had with the first building. I'm like, just trust me. And so through thick and thin, it took 6 months to negotiate the lease, and got it for a really good price, really long term, single owner. He's owned that building before. It was just dirt. Like, it's in their family. They're good people. They're pharmacists in Oxnard and Camarillo. They're local people. And I'm like, everything about this building is right. Like, I just know that this is the right choice. And so we signed the lease, got everything done. The fucking build out was a nightmare, as we expected it to be. One thing that my wife and I made a podcast about this, of if you just set the precedent that you're going to go through a hard time. So I was just talking to my buddy Mike, my electrician, who did the whole new building. Same thing with him, because him and his wife, him and his significant other just had 2 babies. And we have our one on the way. And we talked about, dude, if you just tell yourself, yo, having a kid's going to be hard. We're going to get sleepless nights. If you just have that agreement with your significant other before the baby's born, it's like a fucking breeze. It's way easier. But if you tell yourself, this is going to be awesome, it's not going to cost us very much, like, we're going to have so much free time. Yeah. You're going to, dude, get ready, bro, because you're gonna get woken up by the worst nightmare. So we knew going into it, this is gonna be the hardest thing we've ever done in our life. We're quadrupling the size of our building. We now have to manage our time between a baby. We started the build out on January 5th or January 9th. Our baby was born January 17th.
Oh shit.
So like, it was wild. So it was and then I started 75 hard on January 1st.
Oh, shit.
So, like, one of the most popular posts I've ever had is I was at 24 Hour Fitness 3 hours after our son was born. So, like, I had to get my second workout in, bro. Like, I had to get my second. We were there for 3 days. I was doing my fucking loops around CMH, getting my workouts in, like, asking, hey, can I warm my meal up in your guys' microwave? So, but we had that precedent of, like, her and I sat down at the end of December and said, all right, babe, like, this is going to be the hardest, probably 6 months to a year that we may experience in our lives. Like, just get ready for it. And it was the hardest 8 months we've ever dealt with. And so, and not like emotionally, just like worn down, bro. Like, I mean, every day someone will call, yo, David, this is going wrong. Yo, David, this is going wrong. Yo, David, and the baby's crying. My wife's, and she is a fucking superstar. She's taking care of the baby. She's pregnant again. Like, she's awesome. But every day I come home and be like, babe, dude, this is going to cost another 30 grand. Babe, this ended up being fucking 25,000 instead of 5,000. Or like, you know, it was just like, we just wore us down, you know. But having the strength to understand that we signed up for this, it made it a lot easier. Of like, we signed up for this, like, you know, we look each other in the eyes and said, you ready to fucking ball? Like, fuck it, we ball, dude. So that's how we ended up, you know, in the space right there on Saviors. And it ended up working out as the best decision we ever made.
So that was this year.
Oh, we just opened 4 weeks ago.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The space is like brand new, bro. Like brand new.
Wow.
We started January 5th and we finished the build out. Like, I mean, dude, I was just telling him, I sat down with Colby from Oxnard Movement, CrossFit Gym. We sat down, we met just like this for the first time. We sat down for 3 hours yesterday and like just chopped it up as business owners. He's been trying to connect with me. I've been trying to connect with him. We just never had the time. And, he didn't realize, like, dude, if any members listen to this, they've never heard this story, which is we told our members, and this is a true story, our lease ended July 31st, which was Sunday or Wednesday. We were like, we are moving the 26th and we are reopening our new gym on the 29th of July. And so we had 3 days from then until when our lease ended our current gym. So we had no wiggle room. Like, I mean, August 1st hit and my landlord was like, where's the keys? Like, that's how they were. So I had no wiggle room. So I told everyone we're going to be moving on July 26th on Friday. We're shutting the current gym down. We're going to be closed for 2 days while we move everything over to the new gym. Everyone's like, oh, cool. I'm so excited. You know, 2 days before, on Tuesday and Wednesday, we failed all 6 inspections for our building, life safety, everything. Like, we failed all of our inspections. I'm not going to get into it because I don't want City of Oxnard people to hear all the terrible things with the inspector, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
He's going to be retiring this year. Bless his heart. I hope we never have to deal with him again. I hope I never have to see him again in my entire life. I think he had something to prove because I was a young man and he thought I had never owned a business before. He was trying to prove to me that life was hard. And so some obnoxious things he called out that were not even on his jurisdiction to call out. Either way, Tuesday hit, and I remember, and I am never a man that gets angry. In 13 years, my wife and I have been there. I've never yelled at her. She's never yelled at me. Like, I'm just not an angry. My dad's an alcoholic. Like, that's just not in my nature. And I remember him walking out the doors after he failed our inspection. I think I had like a Milwaukee battery in my hand, and I fucking slammed it on the ground. And I yelled, and my plumber looked over. I was like, fuck. And I was like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Like, that was our last fucking chance. Like, we're going to have to shut the fucking move down. We're going to have to tell all of our members that we're fucked. That, like, and I'm going to have to pay another month of rent that I didn't have. Like, we were break even. I had no more money, bro. What the fuck am I going to tell my landlords, both landlords, because I was expecting to pay rent at my new gym. And now I'm going to have to ask for my old gym to fucking extend our lease. Well, they're going to ask for money because they're going to be like, oh, you're moving? I thought you were shutting down. Oh, you're moving. Oh, you better fucking pay me for another month if you want an extension. So it was just one of those where it was like, I had never felt such a rush of emotions ever. Like, and I've been through some pretty hard shit. And I recomposed myself. My wife just like let me do my thing for 30 seconds. And she's like, all right. And this is how my wife is. Don't be a pussy. What the fuck did he tell you need to get done? So we wrote a list down of all the signs we had to get, all the code violations that we have, blah, 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 blah. I called the city of Oxnard right there. And even the lady at Oxnard was like, you just failed your inspection 30 seconds ago because it automatically gets uploaded into their system. She's like, are you sure you want to call for reinspection on Thursday? I said, honey, I got no choice. Like, if I fail again, fuck it. But I might as well try to pass. And so sure enough, we spent the next 2 days. I mean, bro, swapping bathroom stall doors out that didn't meet code, which they did, but like he wanted a certain way. I mean, talking about we had bathroom stall signs next to the bathroom doors. He's like, no, I also want them 2 feet to the left on the door as well. I'm like, bro, it's on the wall. Why do I need to have one on the wall and one on the stall door? He's like, what if someone can't read on the side of the door? I'm like, homie, you're tripping. And I'll never forget, he walked outside and he's like, you need to restripe these handicap stalls. And I'm like, why? He's like, well, they're 8 3/4 feet wide. They need to be 9 feet wide. And I'm like, oh, I forgot that wheelchairs were 9 feet wide now. And so he looked at me and he was like, I remember him telling me, he's like, man, business is hard. You shouldn't have opened a business.
No fucking way.
And I said, you know what, dude? I'm like, and I just looked at him and I was like, I'm not going to say his name. I was like, man, I'll just say man. I was like, you know what? I actually have opened businesses before and I stopped. And I looked at him, I said, I'll see you on Thursday. He's like, yeah, I wouldn't say that. So I was like, you know what? I'm like, I don't want to get on your bad side. I'll see you on Thursday. And so it was one of those where he was an older head getting ready to retire. He thought I was a young buck. And so he thought he was doing me a service of teaching me a hard lesson. When in reality, all he was doing was running things around, costing the city more fees of having him coming out multiple times and just like ruining the experience for a business owner. Like, there's a reason why people don't want to open businesses. I had someone who got stuck in plan check for 6 months and they had to go bankrupt. They lost everything because they were waiting for the fucking city. Like, they don't understand. Like, these are people's lives, dude. And so either way, we got everything done, called for his reinspection on Thursday. He came out, didn't even look at half of the things he called out. He looked at 2 things. He called out 15 things and was like, yeah, you did that. I trust you did the rest of it. And I'm like, homie, you called me out for the most crazy things. And you came back and didn't even fucking look. Like, I can't make this up, man. So either way, yeah. So we got open. We literally was like Thursday. We got past inspection and we're like, it's fucking go time. Got to the other gym, shut everything down, moved all of our stuff over. We had 30 volunteers. I bless their hearts. They are the best people in the world. Helped us move 50,000 pounds of equipment, our entire gym in 2 days. I mean, talking about 2 box trucks, back and forth 9 trips. I mean, they were there at 8 in the morning, literally until some of them, like on the second day, some of them didn't even leave. They were there from 8 in the morning and they fucking stayed until 1:30 in the morning where we opened our doors. Like, because we're a 24-hour gym. We opened up midnight on Monday morning. And they were there with me at 11:59 drilling holes in the fucking ground so I can bolt machines down. Like, I mean, there's 30 people outside and they're watching me run around with the hammer drill. Bolt, like, and people were following me behind me, my volunteers, like they were fucking helping me out, like bolt machines. Like, our community beats any other community, bro. Like, they are the best people in the world, and I can't thank them enough. So, it was wild. It was absolutely wild.
Wow, bro, what a story, dude.
Yeah,
it's meant to be.
So we've been open for 4 weeks, and it was the best decision we ever made.
It's meant to be.
Yeah,
that is crazy, dude. Damn, man, I love it. So inspiring.
Well,
it's
dude,
so inspiring, bro.
I look what you guys have built and the attention to detail you guys have, and that's where we were talking earlier. Where I look at what you guys do, and I'm like, how can we apply that to our business? Not necessarily just the bolts, but I'm talking about like the level of detail you guys do. Where I'm like, I can learn from you guys because I see what you guys have built, and I'm like, this is a badass spot, and how we can apply that in our business.
For sure, man. We definitely need to keep in touch.
For sure.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. I love it, dude. So if people want to come and be a member, can you just give us kind of the quick breakdown of how that would work?
Yeah, it's super simple. So we're a 24-hour gym, so 24 with a key tag access, but we have staffed hours that we're at the front desk. So we're there from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays we're there from 8 a.m. to 4. We're not there on Sundays, so excuse me, if you walked up to the door, you pulled the door on a Sunday, that door's going to be locked. You have to have a key tag as a member to unlock that door. So 24 hours. So as soon as you sign up as a member, you get that 24-hour key tag. If you want to just come in for a day pass, we have trial pass if you want to try the gym out. We have day pass if you're visiting from out of town. So you don't have to be a member to use the gym. Just make sure you come in during staffed hours. We have one membership. It's month to month. It's like the easiest membership you're ever going to have. You're never locked in. No cancellation fees. We took all the heartaches from being members at other facilities, and we were like, let's just make the simplest, dumbest like easiest to understand membership, where if you walked in and you had the IQ of a squirrel, you could understand the membership. So like that's kind of how we have it structured. So I don't want to give prices because prices change over time.
Gotcha, okay.
So if someone listens to this membership 6 months from now or a year from now to you, it might be different.
For sure.
So,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So if people wanted to follow you in your journey, where can they find you at?
So I always recommend follow our business page, which is just House of Gains Gym. No underscores, nothing. It's super simple. We are actually finally getting back to posting content because we took a break for the last 6 months as we are building out our gym. We do super funny content, educational content. If you don't even go to our gym, you can learn about how to use certain machines at your gym or whatever. So follow us there. My personal is just my first and last name, which is just David Figg. I always say Figg is with 2 G's because everything comes better in pairs. Mm-hmm. So it's just David Figg, no underscores, no periods, just straight up David Figg. You'll find on my page, I don't really post very much, except for I might post some political stuff or whatever, just things where I think people should be aware of. So I would just recommend following the business page if you want more of an interaction of our business. So those are our two places to follow us at.
Damn, bro.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
dude.
you for having me, bro. It's been a blessing. Absolute blessing being
Smoked
here.
it, dude. You're killing it. So happy for you, dude, and I'm glad that we finally met.
Yeah,
and
same.
I'm definitely gonna be along for the journey, dude.
Yeah, and that's vice versa, bro. Obviously we're here for you. If there's anything that we could do, fitness wise, gym wise, you know where to find us at.
I'll get fucking swole,
fucking jacked.
Hell yeah! Thank you guys for listening. Once again, this is Downtime with Downstar, and we out. Peace.
Peace. Later, guys.